Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Minnesota FFA Live, brought to you by your Minnesota FFA Foundation. We are here at 3M Arena at Mariucci for the first session of the 90th Minnesota FFA Convention. I'm Morgan Krause.
And I'm Eaton. Today, during our pre-session show, we get to meet one of our state officers, James Matwitz, hear a little bit more about our state FFA advisor and foundation, and finally hear about DISH and their partnership with FFA and the foundation and how we can best support our members.
I don't know about you, Ethan, but I am pumped for convention. This is one of my favorite times of the year. And, seeing today here on Minneapolis campus and St. Paul campus at the University of Minnesota, just floods of blue jackets, of FFA shirts. I mean, it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, I love to see the blue jacket take over the University of Minnesota, especially our St. Paul campus.
Yes.
And see those members and see them participate and learn and grow and just really take their FFA experience to the next level here at the 90th FFA convention.
So true, so true. I saw so many people running and laughing, and I can hear behind us here in the arena it's starting to fill up. So I think we should jump into this. Let's meet our state officer. James, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Great.
Doing very well.
So, like we were saying, we have so many people coming here to convention. What's the kind of mindset that we should be having for these upcoming days?
Just the mindset that we should be having is just one that's full of excitement. We should just be ready to come together after a year of so much hard work and just determination, because this is a time that we can celebrate the successes of members.
So we have a lot of contests happening tomorrow and a lot of nerves amongst our FFA members. What's some advice that maybe you used while an FFA member for these members as they prepare?
Yeah, so I know for myself, I did a lot of the LDEs and leadership development events, and before I would ever start to talk, I would just always just take a deep breath. And it sounds simple enough, but it really does help overall. It calmed my nerves, and overall it just gave me a sense of, I've practiced for this, I've prepared for this, and now I'm ready to go.
That's awesome. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
So this is the 90th convention. Big milestone for the Minnesota FFA, and each year conventions have a theme, and that can really shape FFA experiences and really convention as a whole. So how has that shaped your year, and what is your theme and kind of the idea behind it?
For sure. So our theme is Aspire to Be, and the tagline is Reach for the Horizon. So it's just it can mean anything that you really want it to be. We're always working towards being better each and every year, and Aspire to Be, for me at least, just means becoming what I know I'm meant to be. So I'm studying to become an agricultural education teacher and FFA advisor for hopefully some of these future kids out here. And for me, it's just I'm aspiring to be a teacher, and I want to be a leader for other people. And reaching for the horizon is just reaching for the future and knowing what's coming next.
That's great, James. We love to see FFA members pursuing their goals. And so, do you have any advice for the FFA members maybe joining us on air about how they can best live out the theme for this year during these next couple days here at convention?
Yeah. So honestly, the best advice I can give anyone is just take the opportunities available to you. FFA is somewhere that has so many opportunities for anyone from any background. It's just you have to look for them sometimes. And so these opportunities are out there, whether it be politics, we have the Ag Policy Experience in January and March, or wherever you come from, there's somewhere for you. And so it's just important to look for those.
So true. So there's a lot that happens at convention, but what are our viewers going to see in this upcoming session?
For sure. So we're going to start off with some talent acts. It's just another one of those opportunities for members who aren't necessarily focused on the 100% agricultural aspect of it. And so they'll get to showcase their talent for us. And then we'll hear from our state reporter, Lauralee Eaton, with her retiring address. And lastly, we'll do the reflections for the night that kind of helps explain what Aspire to Be means for all of us.
Awesome. Yeah, I've heard some of the talent contestants warming up behind us, and they've been outstanding. So I'm excited to see a little bit of that contest and hear those award winners for sure. Looking at what's coming ahead in the reflections, can we get a sneak preview what we're going to be reflecting on during this time?
Reach for the horizon.
All right.
Short and sweet, keeping it to it. Well, we know that you have a lot to do. We're glad that we could have you on the show for a little bit of your time. Wish you nothing but the best in these upcoming days.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ethan, what does Aspire to Be mean to you?
I think for me, aspire to be means seeking for what's next. I know that we all as FFA members have developed skills and are constantly working on those, but we can't become complacent. We always have to take those to the next level. So that's what I hope to do over these next few days, even though I'm not necessarily competing, but still aspiring to be the best self.
Yes.
What about you, Morgan?
I really think that, and it's something that we heard earlier today, aspiring to be an example for others. You know, our time in the FFA is gone, but now being able to be an alumni and being able to model what that can look like, I think is really what we're looking for.
Yeah, that's great. I think we all have the mindset of giving back in what's next and how can we help that next generation. I think our next two guests definitely have demonstrated that for us as well as so many other FFA members.
Yes.
And so we'd like to help welcome our guest, Natasha Mortenson, the president and chair of the foundation, as well as Mr. Joel Larson, the state FFA advisor. And so, Natasha, when we look at what aspire to be means, and Morgan and I gave our brief definitions, how is the foundation aspiring to be and taking things to the next level?
The foundation is definitely looking of how to long-term to really support the FFA organization and really give students opportunities, right? The students in Minnesota benefit so greatly from the generous donations, whether it be businesses, companies. Speaking of the FFA live stream, Enbridge is a sponsor of this right here, which is so awesome that people at home can listen and learn and watch as these young leaders in Minnesota really go forth and do great things for agriculture. Sitting next to Joel Larson here, I will say aspire to be, even looking at my involvement in FFA from a very long time ago, being a state FFA officer and a region president under the advisement of Joel Larson as a young person, and now being able to be cool enough to sit by him on here. I think the foundation is working with multiple partners and working with just agricultural education as a whole, whether that be the state FFA, the Ag Teachers Association in Minnesota, and the FFA Alumni, which is all over the state in lots of different chapters and on the state level, looking at how do we provide the resources to allow students to aspire to be part of agriculture and leaders, whether it be in, farming or agricultural business. So I would say that definitely we have some leadership here on my right that has really inspired a lot of people to be, including myself. So I definitely feel fortunate to be part of all of this, and I think the foundation is looking forward. We're looking forward and trying to help people understand all the opportunities to give, whether it's $5, $25, $1,000, or $100,000 if you want to give that. That's cool too.
Certainly.
That's awesome. So, Mr. Larson, you're our state advisor. What does that role actually mean?
Well, I think I work with the two outstanding staff that really manage the FFA part of the program, Julia Talaski and Lavin Rada. We really work together as a team to identify what the priorities are for the association as far as leadership development, both at a region level and here at a state level. And then putting this convention together gets to be a big part of that also.
So I have a question for Mr. Larson. So it's weird calling you Mr. Larson. So Joel, when you were young and just getting into agricultural education, what did you aspire to be?
Truly, I aspired to be a farmer. And when I left college some 40 plus years ago, I started teaching in St. James, Minnesota, and I spent 5 years there. And I spent 13 years teaching in Belle, Plaine agriculture program, serving as an FFA advisor. And when the opportunity came about to apply for this job, I really wanted to share some ideas that I had as to what I thought the state leadership role should look like. And 25 years later, I'm kind of ending my career.
So you've worked with some of the best leaders in Minnesota for a number of years. So how does it give you hope for the future of agriculture and the future of the students that have been involved in the FFA organization here in Minnesota?
You know, you can't help but come to a convention like this and be inspired by not only the young people who are here, but also all the people who are working behind the scenes to make this a reality for the students who are here. You know, we talk about having 3,600 plus students who are here at convention, but there are 300 advisors and chaperones here, so nearly 4,000 people. And tomorrow, 2,800 students are going to participate in a career development event, a leadership development event, and that literally takes hundreds of people to come to town to volunteer their time to be judges for us. And so when you put the alumni and the foundation and all of the students together, it's really a family and really a team effort, and that's what inspires me.
That's awesome. So, Natasha, you talked some about what the foundation does. And your place of employment, Riverview, I know, is a longtime sponsor of FFA. Can you tell us more about that partnership and why Riverview continues to contribute to the FFA?
Absolutely. That's a really great question. So Riverview LLP is a farm out in western Minnesota. That farm raises dairy and beef cattle as well as crops. And as a teacher at the Morris Area High School, teaching ag there, Riverview was always such a huge supporter of everything that we did on the local level. And now working with Riverview, I think we realize as a company and as, we have over 300 owners, and we are all very passionate about production agriculture. But we're also really passionate about rural America and rural Minnesota. And unless agribusiness and farms come together with the foundation and the alumni and the state FFA organization here in Minnesota, we have to do that together. We cannot count on just one group or one teacher or one state advisor or, one executive director to do all that work. We must work together. And to provide those resources for the youth in those rural areas, that is the future. Those are the future, that's a future generation of agriculturalists, whether that's farmers or agribusiness, it doesn't matter. And if we do not pour our resources into them, I'm afraid we won't have anybody there to do it. And for those of us that are so passionate about agriculture and passionate about the future for these young people, we've got to show them what their opportunities are. And unless we're involved, they're not going to know.
We talk so much about the future, but I think we should take a step back and look at where we've came from. This is the 90th Minnesota Convention, which is awesome, a big number for us. And I know, Mr. Larson, you've been a part of it for quite some time, and this is your retiring year, your last time being the Owl. But how have you seen FFA and agriculture education progress over your time here? And where, you touched on it, but where do you think it's going to continue to go?
Well, first I have to tell you that I was not here at the first convention. So
Clear that up.
This is the 90th, and I've been at quite a few of them. It's changed dramatically in that this is the 50th year that we've had women who've been participating in FFA, and that's probably the best decision that FFA ever made, because it's really changed the dynamics of what this organization does and what it means in schools and communities. If you would have come to convention 40 years ago, there might have been 10 or 15 career development events. There might have been, there was a parliamentary procedure contest, a public speaking, but it's grown exponentially. And I think that's a good thing, because it meets the needs of all of our chapters, and it meets the variety of needs of 11,000 members across the state of Minnesota. And we couldn't do it without the support of the foundation. Of the students we serve, probably a third, almost 40%, are economically disadvantaged. And so we want to provide opportunities to every student, and not only those students who have the resources to participate, but students who might need a little bit of help, and that's a huge part.
If I can add to that, the Minnesota FFA Foundation donates about $125,000 so that the state convention can happen, and that reduces the cost of $60 per person registration to $19, which is amazing. And that is all because of small and large donations. It does not matter what it is, but MinnesotaFFAFoundation.org has information on ways to give. So I suggest anybody watching to go check that out and see how they can give.
Great plug for the foundation, and I know that Morgan and I have both reaped benefits from that, and so many of the FFA members, every FFA member here in attendance, speaking of that reduction in registration costs, is receiving that benefit. So we talked briefly about Mr. Larson's retirement and the impact he's made on FFA members. Natasha, I know you've been one of those members that has reaped some of that benefit. Can you talk about the impact Mr. Larson has maybe had on your life and the other members?
Absolutely. So Mr. Larson, on me individually as a state FFA officer, just a really great leader, and to help us always keep our heads in the game, and to realize what's really important, right? You get a lot of ideas as a leader, and you need to stay grounded. And Mr. Larson was always really good at keeping us all grounded and asking lots of questions of why we thought we should do the things we were doing. And I would say as an individual, as an ag teacher, a past state officer, Mr. Larson always put a lot of faith into some of the crazy things that I've come up with throughout the years, and always backed me up. And I think that after he got his answers to his questions, and still being there to support the ag teachers here and their crazy ideas, and the students and their crazy ideas, just a really great person to let things kind of go and see where they end up.
Those crazy ideas led us to Mariucci Arena and a live stream broadcast like this.
True.
If you want to go back 25 years ago, we held the final session for the convention where we did all of our awards in a tent in the Beef Barn parking lot and in a rainstorm. And so things have changed dramatically.
Yeah, it changed just a bit. I know that you've both been involved with FFA a lot, and convention specifically. Is there anything that you always look forward to at convention?
For me, it's seeing the kids thrive and be excited. So I have my daughter turned 15 yesterday. She was actually born here when I was an ag teacher 3 weeks early. I'm sure you remember this. And she is here, and my son is a 7th grader in here for the first year. Both of my kids are kids. I should give Matt some credit, my husband. So they're here competing, and they're here becoming better leaders. And as a parent and a past FFA advisor, and somebody who owes a lot of what I do today to this organization, it's really fun to see them succeed. But along with them, all the other FFA members that are here that do well, feel good about being involved in the FFA organization, are meeting new kids, are meeting with sponsors, and seeing all the really cool opportunities they have through FFA. Like, that just feeds my soul. So I love it.
For me, I think it's convention is really about the awards and the success of students. And for students who are running for state office, this is a lifelong goal that they've set. And so when those officers are selected, that's a huge thing. And we see the career development events on Tuesday afternoon, and when the winners are announced, and you can just see that pride in being in the top 5 teams up there. So it's all about student achievement and the awards. I get to look at it from just a little bit different perspective, because I'm watching the advisors and the parents too, and this isn't done by any one person. It's done by a team effort.
Well, we in Minnesota FFA are certainly fortunate to have both of you on staff and on board to help progress Minnesota FFA in agricultural education. And so we thank you for taking the time to join our show today and share some of your perspective of the 90th Minnesota FFA convention. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are very fortunate to have people who dedicate so much into us as FFA members, and it doesn't stop there, though. The people you meet in FFA are lifelong friends, they're lifelong networking people, and then you form into an alumni, and you get to form that bond and then give back, which is, comes full circle, really, at convention. It's such a fun time.
Yeah, and I think both those two are great examples about how FFA is lifelong. And whether it be as an active member starting in 7th grade, becoming an alumni and supporter member, or even working for a foundation or FFA staff, there are so many ways to continue staying involved with FFA.
That is so true, and FFA is so diverse. There's so many people in it, so many different viewpoints, and a lot of people when they hear, they think agriculture, but there's so much leadership side of that, and it connects us with so many people. And so I think our next guest will really show how FFA kind of reaches a lot of different people.
I believe so too. Let's meet them.
Welcome.
Hi.
Both of you.
How we doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Fantastic. Happy to be here.
This is the star. I'm just a normal.
All right. Well, there we go. Okay. So we're here with Dish Network, correct?
Yes, you are.
Okay. And so we'd like to start out by hearing some about the partnership between Dish and FFA and what's happening there.
A lot happening, but I want to commend you guys. You guys are awesome.
We appreciate
No,
it.
seriously, you guys are, by the way, you look very good. But there's a lot going on. You know, we wanted to partner up with the FFA. I actually started at the National Convention. And if I could take just a minute, didn't know too much about the FFA.
Yep.
I'm a Chicago-born kid. Did grow up in Indiana, so we do compete against you guys at Minnesota, Big Ten. But I attended the National Convention in Indianapolis, and it was one of those moments where I saw some 40, 50,000 kids in blue jackets. It was mesmerizing. It was something where I know exactly where I was at, where I was sitting when I heard the 6 national officers speak. And it was one of those moments where you're frozen. And it was so compelling, and it was so interesting, and it was so motivating. I just wanted to be part of it. And then we came out with the program, and which was that, you know, just Dish Network is around the country. It's a national video service. We think we're the best. And why don't we go out there and partner with the FFA? We want to help the students. We want to help the local chapters. And we came out with a program where if any a member go out there and promote Dish, and if there's a customer that comes in through that specific state, that we go back and give $200 to the FFA. Where 50 goes to the national, 50 goes to the state, 100 goes to the local chapter to really motivate the kids to do great things and the advisors, you know. So that's where it all started. But it's, for me personally, it's just, you want to see these kids and these students thrive. Because I look at it very quickly that I learned 3 things. One was that, you know, America has 3 very, I guess, important factors, you know, that is youth, agriculture, and leadership. And I want to be part of that because I see the leaders of future America right here in the FFA. You know, and the other thing that really motivated me is that responsibility and that resilience and the respect that you guys show, right? I want to be part of that. Why wouldn't you want to be part of something like that and help the students? You know, so that's where it all started for me, and hopefully it grows. This is the major star. Talk to him.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what your role is here at the 90th convention?
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say thank you for having me. This is my first time at something like this, a state convention, and to be here in Minnesota, which is my home state, is fantastic, and everybody's been so welcoming, so I'm happy to be here. My name's Anderson Daniels. I'm a country musician, singer-songwriter, kind of play all over the country, and I'm from Minnesota, so I'm happy to be back here and playing in my home state tonight.
Great. Well, Anderson, you mentioned that Minnesota is your home state. Did you have any experience or knowledge of FFA before coming to this state convention?
I did, yeah. A couple of my buddies were in FFA growing up. I'm from Champlin, Minnesota, so I had a few buddies in FFA growing up in high school, and I knew about it kind of as a country musician. It's something that you're aware of. But it's something that country music and the FFA kind of there's underlying values there that cross over very much so, and it's a great leadership organization. I'm very excited to kind of be representing country music on stage tonight at the FFA State Convention.
Yeah,
I know we're all really excited to hear you later on in the session. You talked about how your values and FFA values overlap. How about with Dish?
You know, we have, anywhere you go in our offices, it's so similar. We believe in something called CPAW, which is curiosity, pride, adventure, and winning. And I can go on and explain that, but it's exactly that. It's like, you're always looking for opportunities to do better. You want to thrive. You want to challenge the assumptions. You can't settle. You know, you're always looking for ways to get better as a person, for the business, for the customers, and so on. And you guys, exactly like that. It's like every student I have met, it's so motivating. They're so polite. They're so hard, so much effort, hardworking. And you just want to be part of that. You want to help them, you know? So it's so much similarity when you look at our goals and objectives and what you guys have also.
For sure.
That's awesome. So, Anderson, we heard you warming up, and it was phenomenal. And so, great job there. But obviously, the music industry is immensely competitive. And
Correct.
so you're trying to crack in that. And so when we look at our Minnesota FFA theme, Aspire to Be, you're aspiring to be a musician.
Yep.
How do you go about making those next steps?
It's all about, for me, it's all about persistence, and it's about self-awareness of kind of that it's not an overnight process. I think a lot of people think that in the music industry, and I mean a lot of other industries as well, but in the music industry specifically, it's a snap of your fingers and you become this big star sensation, and it's not quite that. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of ups and downs, and the highs always outweigh the lows for me, so that's why I keep coming back and keep doing it.
That's awesome.
He's a tremendous talent, and we're gonna hear about him in 5 years in a very big way.
We'll all look back on this moment.
By the way, last year at the national convention at the FFA, Garth Brooks.
I heard Mr. Garth Brooks was on there.
Right?
Yes.
Who's going to be in Minneapolis next weekend.
Yes,
Yep.
he is. He
Yes.
is.
Yes. So is this your first time here at Minnesota's convention?
It is my first state convention. I have been traveling all around over the last 6 months. On my first state convention, I had to make it in Minnesota. It's my third trip here, and I'm excited. This is amazing.
What are your initial thoughts so far?
I was coming up the escalator, and there were about 20 students going down, and everyone said hello.
Yes.
There's your answer. It was just like I said hi to everyone, and everyone said hello. You know, and that is neat, right?
Yeah.
These are young kids. That's what I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's been so welcoming, and it's so great to get that those qualities in kind of just being a character in people, and it's great to have that when you come in to an event like this and just be very welcomed right away.
We're very fortunate to have both of your supports, your talents, and your time and treasures. So, can I ask why FFA? Why the investment in our future leaders in agriculture?
Go ahead.
I think for me, it's about connecting with people, and as a country musician, my biggest thing is having a voice that represents people from Middle America. You know, out there in the real world, in the grand scheme of things, globally, you're looking at people in Middle America, flyover states. They don't get represented as much as they should. So for me, it's all about having that voice, writing these songs, and going out and performing and connecting with people and representing people from areas like that I'm from in Minnesota here. So and connecting those two with FFA, being the future farmers of America and leadership and all those things that connect. That's what I'm about, and so I'm excited to be here and perform tonight. It's great.
Great answer. Same thing. You know, it's the future leadership. This is what I see coming out of the students. You know, the talent, the work ethic, the intelligence. This is what we need in America, and I see that happening through you guys, and just when we're part of it, and we're so proud to be part of Dishes, and we're going to grow this whole partnership, not only in Minnesota, but hopefully across the country. We really appreciate the partnership.
So you've mentioned that. How, if our viewers are watching, how could they take part of that if they wanted to?
Great question. You know, we dedicated a special group of people. A phone number actually is 1-855-FFA-DISH. And that's all they need to do is call that number. As a matter of fact, most of our employees that answer the call, our employees are future FFA members at one time. So they understand who they're speaking to and everything else. So very simple. We don't want anything but, you know, just understand what we're doing. We want to support it. And just call the number and we'll take care of the rest.
Well, Anderson, you hear that noise behind us?
It's a good crowd.
Yeah, it
Now
sounds
we're
like
talking.
the Minnesota FFA members are ready for what's coming. So we definitely appreciate you both taking the time to join us on the show, and look forward to continuing our partnership and hearing your talents later today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
So much.
For joining us.
Great.
Well, we are nearing the session. You can hear it behind us. I am excited. This is the first session of 90th convention, but we have 5 more sessions after that, which means we have pre-shows before all those sessions. So if you enjoy this, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You'll get a notification so you can watch all of the sessions and the pre-shows and the post-shows that are going to be coming up.
Yeah, to subscribe, just go ahead and click below. There are so many things we get to showcase over the next coming days. We get to meet the rest of the state officer team, hear about what's going to be coming up in those sessions, and highlighting some of our other foundation sponsors.
I mean, this energy is coming. It is exciting stuff that's going to happen. We're going to see FFA members thriving out there. We're going to feel that energy, and I hope it translates to our viewers at home. I'm excited for this.
I am too, and I think the FFA members, they're getting louder and louder as we continue to speak. And I know from what we saw from our guests here today, this is going to be an exciting session.
It really is. There's so many people coming together to make this what it is, so that those FFA members, they were talking about that experience that they had. That first feeling of their national convention, people are getting that here today. Those people coming to this convention for the first time are getting that excitement.
Yeah. I remember my very first state FFA convention and know that these FFA members' eyes are just going to be open to what FFA really is and how big of an organization we have.
Well, that's all we have for today. We're going to send it on down to our first general session.
In 1994, State Sentinel from the Jackson FFA chapter, Kenneth Schenzel.
The convention hall will come to order. We are now holding the first general session of the 90th Minnesota FFA Convention. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
So I'll just say the first part and then you say the entire part.
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President.
There to there.
The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Oh, sorry. Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty as Sentinel to see that the door is open and that these friends are welcome at all time. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the meeting room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why stationed by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people so that every man, woman, and child may know the FFA is a national organization that reaches the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, carefully, just as Washington kept his pharmacons, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
And that's what I say every time she has to give.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I'm asked to advise you from time to time as the need arises. I hope that my advice will always be based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will but follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation.
Mr. and Madam Vice President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
I am pleased to announce that at the first general session of the 90th Minnesota FFA State Convention, there are 3,564 members and guests present. Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here?
Oh, thank you.
Practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare the first general session of the 90th Minnesota FFA Convention duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matter which may properly be presented. Our lives are not shaped by just one thing or one decision. Instead, our lives combine to form a multiplicity of inevitability that form the matrix of our existence. Whenever we try to intervene, we find that we simply get tangled up in the vines of our limitless possibilities.
Yeah, so I can't really do anything.
Leaving behind all the things you never thought you'd live without.
But don't jump out of your seat just yet. A great leader knows that every mile begins with that first step. Every inspiring speech, a single breath. And regardless of what others say, you alone are the architect of your success. So build high and build fearlessly, because that foundation was there long before you realized it. And it will remain long after you forget.
Oh, and you know when people say good things come to those who wait, that's not true. Good things come to those who chase, those who aren't afraid to embrace the uncertainty of what they do, those who fight to get through the hard times, those that run through a field of landmines without blinking an eye, those who aren't afraid to cry to get through the pain. You see, tears are the avenues through which our souls are cleansed. They are the feather-light droplets that carry with them the weight of the world.
And what's more, they remind us that it's okay to be afraid of what lies ahead in our life's great endeavors.
Because even though some things may never change, some things can change you forever.
Kegan and I will be your co-chairs tonight as we celebrate those Minnesota FFA members who aren't waiting but chasing. Students who aspire to take the first step and are done fearing the moment.
Tonight, we will see some amazingly talented groups and individuals take the stage in our annual Minnesota FFA Talent Show. We will also hear our state reporter, Lauralee Eaton, give her retiring address. And finally, we will hear what Aspire to Be can mean for us here at this convention and in our lives. Before we begin the talent show, we want to recognize one other group of talented people. We can see how they influence our lives through our local chapters, but these people do more than what meets the eye. One example of this is serving as a region representative on our adult board. Let's put our hand together for someone who aspires to be a leader in agricultural education. Our retiring board member and our session's acting advisor, an agricultural educator from Howard Lake, Waverly Winstead, representing Region 4, Mr. James Winiger.
To start the night off right is our first act in the annual Minnesota FFA's Got Talent. Please help me welcoming from the Mountain Lake FFA chapter, Josiah and David Gardner performing a vocal rap.
Hello, my name's Josiah, and this is my brother Daniel, and we're going to be performing a song called Migraine by 21 Pilots. Am I the only one I know? Waging my wars behind my face and above my throat. Shadows will scream that I'm alone. Oh, oh. I am ice cold, so frozen, in fear that I won't make it to the shore where it is safe. But if I make it, I'll compare the contrast of soft grass to disarray. I break free from the waves' grasp with the great gasp. I'm giving more than I have, like the great Gatsby. Alas, waves strain from my mouth to yank me down. The current is murderous, trying to choke me out. Yeah, it's practically pitch black, but I'm not lost. I know where I'm at, cause of where I've been. This is a lost cause. Allow me to paint a portrait with no whitewash. Not a peaceful piece, unrealistically polished by Bob Ross. The moon made the ocean glow a royal blue and tiresome hues remind me I'm alone. Deplorable view. Would it be best if I was gone? Deplorable view. Am I the only one I know? Waging my wars behind my face and above my throat. Shadows will scream that I'm alone. But I know we've made it this far. Kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. I am not as fine as I seem. Pardon me for yelling, I'm telling you green gardens are not what's growing in my psyche. It's a different me, a difficult beast to feast on lumber down trees. Freeze, refrain, get another picture portrait, something you won't forget. It's all about my forehead and how it is adored. That holds back contents, making Pandora's box contents look non-violent. Hide my eyelids are islands of violence. My mind shipwrecked, this is the only land my mind could find. I did not know this was such a violent island, full of tidal waves, full of tiny sea lions. Are trying to eat me, my blood running down my chin. I know that I can fight or I can let the lion win. I begin to assemble what weapons I can find, cause sometimes to stay alive you've got to kill your mind. Am I the only one I know? Waging my wars behind my face and above my throat. Shadows will scream that I'm alone. But I know we've made it this far, kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-oh. And I will say that we should take a day to break away from all the pain our brain has made. This game is not played alone. And I will say that we should take a moment and hold it and keep it frozen and know that life has a hopeful undertone. And I will say that we should take a day to break away from all the pain our brain has made. This game is not played alone. And I will say that we should take a moment and hold it and keep it frozen and know that life has a hopeful under. Am I the only one I know? Waging my wars behind my face and above my throat. Shadows will scream that I'm alone. But I know we've made it this far, kid. Made it this far. Made it this far. Thank you.
Let's give it up for our first talent act of the night. Up next, we have one more talent act before we get into things. Let's welcome Abigail Borish from Little Falls with her piano solo. Now, these members really represent what it means to aspire to be. And I can't think of a better way to start our time here at convention. But this week, while we're looking forward to future horizons, it's important to look back on the 90 years of Minnesota FFA. Next on stage, we have 6 individuals who have aspired to be parents, leaders, and agriculturalists since their time in the Blue Jacket. Please welcome back to the stage the 25th anniversary state officer team. To start off with introductions, let's give our name, our officer position, our current occupation, and how FFA helped get us to where we are today.
Okay, I'll start. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Gabrielson. I graduated from Lac-Qui-Parle Valley. I was the regional president in '93. I have a lot of fond memories of Mr. Day, and he was the state advisor then. He was a very stern man, but I think for some of us, we needed a strong hand to keep us in line. A lot of the things that we do at our chapter still come from, the experiences that I shared with these folks and, the times that we had at the state conferences. I still laugh that we call the camps, all of the conferences are called camps today, and that was one of Mr. Day's extremely agitatable things that, kids go to camps, leaders go to conferences, and now we blend the two together and it doesn't even bother anyone, but it's one of those things, an ode to Mr. Day. I've been at New London Spicer. I teach agriculture. 21 years now at NLS. It's a great school. I teach with Tracy Tebben. We've been co-teachers 21 years. I think that's the longest of any teachers in the state. If there's someone else that has been in a domestic ag partnership longer than 21 years, I got to know who it is. So with that, thank you for letting me be up here. Have a great conference or convention and get after it.
Good evening. I'm Sean Erickson. I served as the 1993-94 Region 8 president, originally from the Kenyon-Wanamingo FFA chapter. Currently, I am a high school ag teacher, FFA advisor at Pine Island. What was awesome about FFA? Besides us, we were pretty awesome at that time, weren't we? Yeah, especially Jeff and I. We were so awesome, that's why they invited us two back. But anyhow, I guess a couple of things that the FFA did for me, or reasons why I really enjoyed my time as a region president. It allowed me to explore the possibility of possibly becoming an ag teacher, and I didn't go into the profession until a few years after college. I actually went to work in industry for a little while, but since then I've been teaching for 18 years, and I enjoy every moment of it, even from the days that are challenging with certain students or with some students to the days that are a lot of fun with other students or even that same student. So I guess that's what I would say, is it just allowed me to become an ag teacher, which I truly enjoy.
Did you pay them to do that? They're all getting A's. Very nice. I'm Ken Schenzel. I'm from Farmington, Minnesota. Originally, I was state Sentinel 25 years ago. And we're from Jackson. Kim and I were probably the first two from the same chapter, so we got something on Randolph. The thing that I remember most about being an FFA years ago was that it was just a great experience to travel the state and meet a lot of people. And I'm not always real great with names. You can ask my own kids that. But it's just amazing the number of times you see people at the state fair or different conferences and conventions that you haven't seen in years, and they all of a sudden you see their face and it's like, boom, you just remember instantly that conference or convention that you were at years ago and when you met them and so on and so forth. And it's always been a lot of fun. And just like the other two, well, being an advisor and an ag teacher, that pretty much goes hand in hand with all the things we learned in FFA. And we kind of know some of the tricks that they try to pull because, we originally came up with them. So.
Good evening. My name is Kim Camels. I am from Jackson, Minnesota, like Ken, and Jeff Voss was our advisor 25-ish or so years ago. I was a state reporter, and after serving as an officer, I graduated from the University of Minnesota with agricultural education as my degree. Did a little bit of a different path than the rest of the officer team up here. I moved to Washington State after undergrad, and I went to graduate school at Washington State University. And I currently am a consultant. I work at Microsoft. So the interesting thing is that FFA continues to live and serve me well, even to this day as a non-agricultural industry person, because we really develop leadership skills. We learn how to communicate in front of an audience. We learn how to critically think and to evaluate, whether they be animals, crops, maybe even each other as public speakers. So really, your opportunity here as an FFA member will continue to serve you well, well past high school and college and into your professional career, regardless of the path that you choose.
Hi, I'm Denise Reeser, and I'm from New Prague, Minnesota, and that was the chapter that I was in for FFA as well. I was state secretary. After I graduated with a degree in ag education from the University of Minnesota, I started teaching with my husband, Mike, who I met through FFA. So that was one of the main things I think would be great for opportunities in FFA. You never know, you might meet your future husband or wife. You meet a lot of interesting people, of course. So I taught high school ag and FFA. I also taught post-secondary at South Central College, agribusiness there, and currently I'm a farm business management instructor at South Central College. I teach farmers and work with farmers, which is very, very rewarding. The best thing, besides meeting my husband in FFA, was all the people I meet, and I got to be a part of the Ag Ed family. And I really believe strongly that FFA introduced me to the best family ever outside of my own family. Wherever you go, you meet people that have been in FFA, they're FFA advisors, and they're just part of your family no matter what part of the country they're from or how long they've been away. You have that common bond, and it's the best family ever to be a part of.
I'm Fred Schleep. I'm from the Albert Lee FFA. Oh boy. From Region 7. And now I'm living in Zimbrota, the Zimbrota Mazeppa FFA from Region 8. Thank you. So my path was a little bit different. Well, there's a couple of us, but I lived in town and was fortunate enough to be in 4-H and then FFA. Had a great advisor who came in and opened the doors to so many things. So what I liked about FFA was there's a lot of things you could do and try and have fun, and I took that approach into leadership. I currently work for Pioneer Seeds, so I'm a territory manager, manage dealers and sales reps. Lee Addington is one of them, and that's been really neat. I graduated from the University of Minnesota with a major in ag education, but took the route of getting away from kids, which it worked out good. So now I have 2 girls that are now in FFA, and it's awesome, and I look forward to seeing the things that they get to do that we did 25 years ago.
Awesome. Well, we'll pass it back down. And can you guys all tell one of your favorite memories from your time as an FFA member?
Wow, we better make it quick because the timer's going, but convention was awesome. Convention and camps and all the fun things. Not memorizing speeches or scripts or getting all nervous in front of this. It was all the other fun things, interacting with the members.
Road tripping with the officers, I think, would be one of my favorite things. We got to go to all kinds of banquets, and we compared notes on who had the best food and that type of thing. So all the traveling we got to do, I would say, would be my favorite.
My favorite memory as an FFA member is actually probably the one that sticks in my mind the most is the year that I came in second in the job interview contest for the state. Mr. Voss was very supportive and listened to all of my wailing about coming in second. It gave me fuel to come back the next year and win it. And so I think it just goes back to speak to, if you don't always succeed, it's okay. The sun will rise, and just get back on that pony and continue to try.
Well, I have to agree with everything they said, except for that contest. I wasn't in that one. But I remember a contest here at the U of M, and it was a state convention, and it was raining out, and I placed the class backwards. And afterwards, the guy that gave my officials to, he did tell me that I got the highest reason score of anybody, because even though I played it backwards, I still talked it right. And now that guy is a veterinarian, so I still talk to him every once in a while about different things. So, but all the road trips and all the people you meet, that's what FFA is all about.
I guess Jeff and I were sitting here kind of chatting just a little bit under the breath. And one of the things that I do recall is the trip out to Nebraska. And sitting in Nebraska and watching that storm roll in. If you've never been where it's completely flat and you can see a storm that's, 40 miles away still, and just watch it come in, that was pretty cool. We got to experience that as an officer team. Another thing that I really enjoyed as far as on the FFA side was as I was in high school, I did a lot of showing, and I showed a lot of hogs. And I guess looking back on it, the year that I took 35 head of pigs to the Minnesota State Fair was a little bit on the crazy side. Kept me pretty busy, but I really enjoy that experience, and that's one of the things I try to get my students. The opportunity now is to experience that showing side.
Show off. Lots of good memories. I would probably just say that this was a really fun group of people to be with. Shannon and Mike, I wish they could be here, but they were fun too. Mike had a great story of going through the security line at the National Convention, and Mike had a rod in his leg, and we were going to see the president speak. And of course, when he set the security alarm off, Mike was freaking out. He kept saying, "I have a rod in my leg," as the Secret Service grabbed Mike and started to escort him. And it was at Mike's expense, but he handled it pretty well, and I'll never forget that.
Well, let's get one big round of applause for all of the amazing memories and stories from this team.
Will you come together for a picture? It's okay. Now we will welcome our second round of talent, Carrie Warmka from the Alden Conger FFA chapter with a harp solo.
Performing next, we will have Ella Roberstead from the Rockford FFA chapter performing a vocal and piano solo.
See a world that's waiting for me that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. It's all
A sunset is a celebration, a fleeting moment, a chance for hope. Not unlike our time here at convention. When I think of Aspire to Be, I imagine us caught up in appreciation and gratitude, captivated by the moment after the sun is high in the sky and before a new day takes over. This is the moment when we can acknowledge how far we've come, and we can allow ourselves to think of what could be.
The sunrise is a time of still, clear, and new beginnings. Each morning, we are greeted by a sun eager to start a new day, no matter the day we left behind. The moment the sun rises, we are able to see the path before us, clear and ready to be taken on our terms. It's only by reaching for the horizon, the rising sun, that we are able to see and become what we aspire to be.
Our time here at convention resembles a sunrise and simultaneously a sunset. When we come together this week, let's celebrate where this year has taken us and at the same time rise to meet the future in all of its pleasant and challenging ways.
Our next talent act on stage will be Nicole Kozalik from Randolph performing a lyrical dance.
All I do is think about you. Sleep late and wake up then. I'll just stay in my bed a little afternoon. I'll go get some food. Call up anyone to go do something fun. Tell me if there is a way to fall out of love with you. 'Cause all I do all day is missing my time with you. Tell me what I should do. I'm on my knees, I pray that I will be okay if you're just a memory to me. Still all I do all day is living a life, thinking what it'll be like if you stay. All I do, yeah, just think about you. So tell me if there is a way to fall out of love with you. 'Cause all I do all day is missing my time with you. Tell me what I should do. Yeah, it's all I do is think about.
Next on stage, please help me in welcoming Jacob Borgstrom.
Hello, my name is Jacob Borgstrom.
this song is an original song that I wrote. And while I was writing it, or prior to, I was looking back at all the country songs that have come before. And most of the memorable ones are the ones with hurt and pain. So I looked at my life and I said, well, what's hurt and what's pain in my life? And I thought, my life just moved on. So here's a song, Life Moves On. When I was just 13, my grandma said goodbye. The hardest thing I saw was my daddy cry. And I don't understand why people have to be taken. I guess it's just the way of life. This is a lesson for all of us to hold. Life will get better and it will move on. Life moves on, so we have to be strong. Hold our heads up and show our pride through the darkest hours and the toughest days. We must prevail under God's name. We will survive. We will hold strong, and life will move on. When I was just 14, a good buddy took his life. He was sad and so he sacrificed. They say that God doesn't accept them, people that just never found their way. Well, I disagree with those kind of people. I feel the lost are let in, and their life moves on, and it is strong. Their faith in God's love and their love in God. Life moves on, so we have to be strong. Hold our heads up and show our pride through the darkest hours and the toughest days. We must prevail under God's name. We will survive. We will hold strong, and life will move on. We will survive. We will hold strong, and life will move on. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Tonight, we have seen some amazingly talented individuals go across this stage. Thankfully, Grace and I have also had the opportunity to watch some amazingly talented individuals grow all year long. Region officers are paramount to the success of the Minnesota FFA Association. It's thanks to their hard work and dedication that the FFA has been able to prosper and grow this year.
At the beginning of their year of service, the 6 of us posed a challenge to the region officers. This is an annual tradition, something started years ago as a way of bringing together the local, regional, and the state levels in a shared vision of leadership for our year of service. Tonight, we are here to announce this year's winner of the Region Officer Challenge.
The finalists for this year's Region Officer Challenge are Regions 3, Region 5, and Region 8. Now, the winner of this year's Region Officer Challenge is Region 5.
We appreciate everything region officers do, just as we appreciate the awesome talent we've been able to witness tonight. Next, we will welcome Madison Carpenter from Forest Lake, who is playing the piano and singing while blindfolded. No, I said Madison Carpenter.
I can't count the times I almost said what's on my mind, but I didn't. Just the other day, I wrote down all the things I'd say, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. Baby, I know that you've been wondering. So here goes nothing, in case you didn't know. Baby, I'm crazy about you, and I would be lying if I said that I could live this life without you, even though I don't tell you all the time. You had my heart a long, long time ago, in case you didn't know. The way you look tonight, that second glass of wine, that did it. Oh, there was something about that kiss. Boy, you did me in. Got me thinking. I'm thinking. All of the things that I've been feeling. It's not you, hero. In case you didn't know. Baby, I'm crazy about you. And I would be lying if I said that I could live this life without you, even though I don't tell you all the time. You had my heart a long, long time ago. In case you didn't know, you got all of me, and I belong to you. Yeah, you're my everything. In case you didn't know, I'm crazy about you, and I would be lying if I said that I could live this life without you, even though time. You were my heart a long, long time ago. Yeah, you were my heart a long, long time ago. Oh, in case you didn't know, no, no. In case you didn't know.
Now, truth be told, I put Grace up to that one. She wasn't blindfolded. But this time, we're going to have Tasha Meyer from Holly really being blindfolded and doing a vocal solo.
Our advisors are pretty great, wouldn't I say? They push us beyond like anything that we can imagine. And my advisor, Mr. Swanson, always challenges me. So I'm Tasha Meyer, and I'm going to be playing and singing September by Daughtry blindfolded.
How the time passed away, all the trouble that we gave, and all those days we spent out by the lake. Has it all gone to waste, all the promises we made? One by one they vanished just the same. Of all the things I still remember, summers never look the same. Years go by and time just seems to fly, but the memories remain. In the middle of September, we still played out in the rain. Nothing to lose but everything to gain. Reflecting now on how things could have been, it was worth it in the end. Now it all seems so clear, there's nothing left to fear. So we made our way by finding what was real. Now the days are so long that summer's moving on. We reach for something that's already gone, yeah. All the things I still remember, summers never look the same. Years go by and time just seems to fly, but the memories remain. In the middle of September, we still played out in the rain. Nothing to lose but everything to gain. Reflecting now on how things could have been, it was worth it in the end. Yeah, we knew we had to leave this town, but we never knew when, and we never knew how we would end up here the way we are. Yeah,
Throughout convention, you might see a jacket that doesn't belong to Minnesota FFA. That's because we are fortunate to have visiting state officers join us at the 90th Minnesota FFA convention. Just like us, they aspire to be servant leaders in their states.
These officers have traveled far and wide to be at the one and only Minnesota FFA State Convention. If you see them wandering around convention, ask them how they are and how they aspire to be. Here are our visiting state officers.
Good evening, Minnesota FFA. I am Dylan Westfall, and I am from Oregon FFA, and I served as the 2018-2019 State Vice President.
Hello, I'm Sunday Spielman, and I served as the 2018-2019 State Reporter for Oregon.
Hello, my name is Holly Sylvie. I'm from Oregon FFA, and I served as the 2018-2019 State Sentinel this year.
What is going on, Minnesota FFA? My name is Jake Halas, and I am your neighbor to the south from the Iowa FFA, where I served as last year's State Vice President.
My name is Sarah Kruger, and I served as the 2018-2019 State Vice President of South Dakota FFA.
Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is TJ Biggie, and I served as the State Sentinel for the South Dakota FFA Association.
It's now time to hear from our final two talent acts. Please welcome Riley Mullen from the Fertile Beltrami FFA chapter doing robotic dancing.
Hey you, can I learn your flavor? It's brand new. Now it's in the papers, all I seem to see. Must be something underneath. Take two, I'm still trying to figure out what makes you hard on the call. I guess it comes from your heart, cause when your head's right, you take your time. There's something about the love that makes you like fire when the strobe hits you. Bet you're looking for something new. I feel the hate with you staring across the room. I dare you play your cards, boy, you bet I'm a trendsetter too. Fire when the strobe hits you.
That's it, Brian? Yes.
Bet you're looking for something new. Staring across the room. Bet I'm a trendsetter too. Bulletproof on another level ahead of the crew. Select never settles, it only gets better the more you see. Powerful and free, confidence is key. So watch me figure it out. It's all about what you bring to the crowd. Where your reference is loud. They're calling me over, set your fire on me. Like what I see, you getting closer. Hey, trendsetter, see your fire when the strobe hits you. I didn't see who you came with. Bet you're looking for something new. I feel the hate with you staring across the room. I dare you play your cards, boy, you bet I'm a trendsetter too. I feel the hate
And last, but finally not least, our last talent act of the night, Allison Lauralee from Hills Beaver Creek, performing her vocal solo.
Hey guys, I'm Allie, and holy cow, there's a lot of you. Okay, and I'm going to be singing Be Alright by Dean Lewis.
And see your sad and teary eyes. You look away from me, and I see there's something you're trying to hide. And I reach for your hand, but it's cold. You pull away again, and I wonder what's on your mind. And then you say to me, you made a dumb mistake. You start to tremble, and your voice begins to break. You say the cigarettes on the counter weren't your friends, they were my mates. And I feel the color draining from and my friend said, I know you love him, but it's over, mate. It doesn't matter, put the phone away. It's never easy to walk away, let him go. It'll be alright. So I looked back at all the messages we'd sent, and I know it wasn't right, but it was messing with my head. And everything deleted like the past, yeah, I was gone. And when I touched your face, I could tell you're moving on. But it's not the fact that you kissed her yesterday, it's the feeling of betrayal that I just can't seem to shake. And everything I know tells me that I should walk away, but I just wanna stay. And my friend said, I know you love him, but it's over, mate. It doesn't matter, put the phone away. It's never easy to walk away, let him go. It'll be okay, it's gonna hurt for a bit of time. So bottoms up, let's forget tonight. You'll find another and you'll be just fine, let him go. It'll be alright, nothing heals the past like time, and they can't steal the love you're born to find. Nothing heals the past like time, and they can't steal the love you're born to find. I know you love him, but it's over, mate. It doesn't matter, put the phone away. It's never easy to walk away, let him go. It'll be okay, it's gonna hurt for a bit of time. So bottoms up, let's forget tonight. You'll find another and you'll be just fine, let him go. It'll be
Let's give one more round of applause for all the talent acts that have performed tonight. We are going to give the judges a little bit of time to deliberate on who our talent winner will be. But now we're going to welcome Katie and David to the stage to help introduce someone who's committed to helping Minnesota FFA members aspire to be more.
I can't pick just one word to describe my best friend Lauralee. I would need a whole dictionary. But what I do know is that she's determined, especially when it comes to our cars and stuck from the parking lot, or when it comes to making others feel welcome. She has an infectious personality that makes anyone feel comfortable. Lauralee will always go out of her way to help a friend or a stranger no matter what. She's a poultry enthusiast from showing, FFA, or just walking her chickens. Her witty personality brings a smile to everyone's faces and will always keep you on your toes.
My sister always strives to put her best foot forward, whether it is raising chickens, running goats, or motivating FFA members all across the state. Lauralee is truly devoted so much to FFA and will hopefully continue that as an advisor. Here to give her retiring address titled The Choice, your 2018-2019 state reporter, Lauralee Eaton.
Got a boat with a two-stroke, a couple guaranteed to make you laugh jokes. I got friends in low places, yeah, life is what you make it. I might not end up in the Hall of Fame with a star on a sidewalk with my name, or a statue in my hometown when I'm gone. Nobody gonna name their babies after me. It might not go down in history.
What to eat for breakfast? Eggs, toast, muffin? To take the dog for a walk or take a nap? To do homework or help a friend in need? We make choices every day. In fact, on average, we make 35,000 choices each and every day. A choice I made as a child was whether to play in the mud or play with my chickens. Usually, I chose my chickens. But on days that I was stuck inside, I would find myself in front of the fridge playing with the letter magnets, seeing if they would stick together or push apart. The way magnets attract and repel is something I can always rely on. We see this every day. Think of people as magnets. The world we live in is such a negative place. Between polarizing views of our society, we are consistently not there for each other. We sit and complain about what is wrong with the world when we are willing to do nothing to change it. If all we are is negative, we will repel away from the world. But when we are positive, we are attracted to the world. We are positive about our surroundings and loved. Just how magnets hold up pieces of paper on a fridge, when you smile at someone, be there for a friend, and hear out a neighbor, that action stays with them. This is a choice we get to make every single day. We may not be able to control our surroundings, but we can control how we respond. In late May of last year, I was at a track meet with one of my friends, Julianne. After finishing my races, I went to the tent to get a snack. There, I saw Julianne fast asleep under a pile of blankets. Soon, she peeked her head up at me and asked, "What race is it?" 400-meter dash, girls, I responded. Julianne then got up and ran to the infield to start her warm-ups. A little while later, I went to watch Julianne run her 800-meter run. The first lap, she was pushing with everything she had. The second lap, I watched her go over the finish line with what looked to be her last burst of energy. Julianne had finished the race dead last. After talking to our coaches, Julianne came bounding up to me and said, "Lauralee, I beat my personal best by seconds." Congratulations, Julianne. How did you do that? Well, I figure the longer I nap, the faster I run. Athletes, please do not try that at home, for it is only a Julianne thing. However, Julianne was both happy and positive in her performance. Her attitude served as a positive magnet in others' lives. Julianne was positive in every race she ran, and even her life. We should want to live our life like her, full of positivity, knowing that today has the opportunity to be good and that there is good in every situation. Although I know how easy it is for us to be sucked into sadness or anger. At the State Green Hand Leadership Conference, I met Megan from the Detroit Lakes FFA chapter. Megan was in my small group, and we shared so many laughs throughout the week. One day, towards the end of the week, I was walking to the tower with her. As we made our way up, I asked, "So, Megan, how's this week been for you?" "Amazing. I've met so many great people. But this week has also been kind of tough on me." "Oh, why is that?" I asked. "Earlier this week, a relative of mine had been hospitalized. I got a call this morning that they had passed away." Megan, the girl who was smiling at everyone, was going through something so tough. Taken back, all I could say was, "I am so sorry. I know this must not be easy." She surprised me when she said, "It has been tough, but I decided I want this week at camp to be a positive experience." Megan chose to be positive in every situation that week, every single day. For if she was a different student, many of those students would have gone home, posed in that situation. We should be like Megan, who chose to be positive. Megan chose to see the light that week, and I watched her share that light with others. We, too, can see the light in others. We get so busy with FFA work, sports practice, and homework, we forget to look at the good we have. Take a second and look at 5 good things. Let's do that right now. 1, we all made it here today. 2, the snow didn't hit our convention. 3, summer is on its way. And 4, we are part of the greatest organization. And 5, somebody believed in us enough to push us to be here tonight. Often we are too quick to look at the bad, but instead we can choose to see the good. This is a choice we get to make every single day. Think of life like a fridge. We get to put these little letter magnets on it. But just like when we were kids, we only have so much room on our fridge door. We are now posed with a choice. Because hate has 4 letters, but so does love. Cry has 3 letters, but so does joy. Anger with 5, but so does happy. Negative with 8, but so does positive. We only have so much room on our fridge door. We only have so much time and energy each day. How do we want to live our lives? When we step away from that fridge door, the letters will still remain. What letters do we want to be remembered for? We have the opportunity to see and believe the positive or the negative, to let our positivity rub off on others or add to their negativity. We have 35,000 chances each and every day. Megan and Julianne chose to be positive in every situation. This choice is entirely up to you. I love this quote that reminds me of that choice. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. The only thing I can control every day is my attitude, and I choose to have a positive attitude. So when we go beyond those doors tonight, what words will we be remembered by? We can do our best to prepare for our competitions tomorrow, but we cannot control what questions will be on the test. We can control our responses. We can be like Megan, who chose to be a positive light in others' lives, or Julianne, who chose to be a light in someone else's life and choose to see the light. We must choose to positively impact others rather than cause hate and judgment in everyday lives. Be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason somebody believes in the goodness of others and feels loved. From now, I have a question for you, Minnesota FFA. What will you choose?
Got a boat with a 2-stroke, a couple guaranteed to make make you laugh. Jokes, I got friends in low places. Yeah, life is what you make it. I might not end up in the Hall of Fame with a star on a sidewalk with my name.
Lauralee, you aspire to be someone who lets your positivity show and puts the needs of others first. We have loved being with you this year, your perfectly timed sense of humor, and your genuine smile. Choose positivity, aspire always. Love, Grace, Adam, James, Laura, and Kegan. Minnesota FFA, your state reporter, Lauralee Eaton.
Got a boat with a two-stroke, a couple guaranteed to make you laugh. Jokes, I got friends in low places. Yeah, life is what you make it. I might not end up in the Hall of Fame with a star on a sidewalk with my name, or a statue in my hometown when I'm gone.
Our dedication to service is one aspect of character that marks us as FFA members. Serving as an officer in our organization ensures the growth and legacy of FFA. Next on stage, we will meet the individuals who have spent the last 2 days in interviews because they wish to serve our organization as state officers in the coming year.
Good evening, Minnesota FFA. My name is Savannah Honorud, and I hail from the Morris Area FFA chapter representing Region 3.
What's up, Minnesota FFA? My name is Leif Arsvold from the Plaine Melville FFA chapter, proudly from Region 8.
Bonsoir or good evening, Minnesota FFA. My name is Bodie Bice, and I'm from the Waseek FFA chapter, proudly representing Region 7.
Hello, Minnesota FFA. I'm Mackenzie Craig, proudly representing the Alexandria FFA chapter located in Region 3.
Hey y'all, my name is Elaine Dorn, and I am from the Randolph FFA chapter in Region 8.
Good evening, Minnesota FFA. My name is Scott Foles, and I am proudly representing Region 5 and the Wilmer FFA chapter.
Hello, Minnesota FFA. My name is Burton Fugelseth from the Fertile Beltrami FFA chapter, proudly representing Minnesota Region 1.
Minnesota FFA. My name is Leah Heffley, proudly representing Region 4 and Princeton FFA chapter. Howdy, Minnesota FFA. My name is Donna Honer, and I am from the Painesville Area FFA chapter in the wonderful Region 3.
Hello, Minnesota FFA. I'm Maxwell Johnson from the Randolph FFA chapter, proudly representing Region 8.
Hey guys, my name is Nick Potoff from the Martin County West FFA chapter, and I am proudly representing Region 6 FFA.
Good evening, good evening, Minnesota. My name is Colin Rieger, and I am from the Dassel-Cokato FFA chapter. I am proudly representing Region 5.
Hello, Minnesota FFA. My name is Anna Marie Sachs, and I'm proudly representing the Dover Yoda FFA chapter.
Hello, Minnesota FFA. My name is Valerie Sauter, and I'm proudly representing the Pine Island FFA chapter and Region 8.
Welcome to convention, members, guests, and advisors. Proudly representing Region 8, I am Maddie Smith from the Fillmore Central FFA chapter.
Good evening, Minnesota FFA. I am Daniel Williamson from the Atwater Cosmos Grove City FFA chapter in beautiful Region 5.
Years, FFA members have been gathering to compete, grow, and learn here at the Minnesota FFA State Convention. Let's take a little bit of time now to discover what Aspire to Be can mean for us while we're here at this convention and how we can live it out in our lives after.
Kegan, get going.
Hit rewind, click delete. Stand face to face with the younger me. All of the mistakes, all of the heartbreak. Here's what I do differently. I'd live like I'm not scared. Give when it's not fair. Live life for another. Take time for a brother. Fight for the weak ones. Speak out for freedom. Find faith in the battle. Stand tall but above it all. Fix my eyes on you.
Nope, that ain't it. Keep going.
I'm not first, I'm next first.
Don't you see a force line?
In 1988, the national organization voted to change the name from the Future Farmers of America to the National FFA Organization. This name change made the organization be viewed as an outlet for more than farmers. Webster's Dictionary of a Farmer is a person who cultivates the land with crops or animals such as fish or livestock. I disagree with Webster's Dictionary. We cultivate the land in the dead of night to get crops in early. We feed our animals at 20 below because this is the way of life that we have. We plant and tend to our seeds with love and tradition. We are farmers, but this definition does not begin to cover the work that we do. So I searched for a better word. Minnesota FFA's demographic is split into 3 even groups. 1/3 rural, 1/3 production, and 1/3 urban. We make up the 10,000 some Minnesota FFA members. We are agriculturalists. The urban student that wakes up early to work in the greenhouse, wanting so desperately to be a part of food production, but didn't have the resources until they came into the agricultural classroom. They are important to this organization. The 6th generation farmer that wakes up at 5 before early morning sports practice to take care of their animals. born into production and sees the family around them. They want to run the farm someday and be the best farmer that their farm has seen in 6 generations. They are important to this organization. The member that prepares speeches and programs to inform others about agriculture. They speak so our farmers can produce the food the way that they see fit. This is who we are. Minnesota FFA is a group of proud agriculturalists, able, ready, and continuously reaching for the horizon.
Washing, blowing, fitting, clipping, and showing. Each of these techniques nearly impossible to master overnight. One of my greatest role models is someone who never stopped seeing the potential in those around him. Ever since I was in 3rd grade, Chris has not only provided me with countless opportunities, but has also shown me what it looks like to have good character in and out of the show ring. I will never forget the first time I visited Chris's farm. I followed my sister up the step and through that old barnwood door. Little did I know, this place would become one of my second homes throughout the upcoming years. As I got older, I would watch and observe Chris's fitting techniques at any given opportunity. Before I knew it, he handed me a comb while one of his heifers stood waiting in the chute. "Here you go. What are you waiting for?" he said. What? He wanted me to fit front leg show side on one of his heifers? No way. He must have thought he handed that comb to someone else. Turns out he did mean to hand it to me, not because he quickly needed someone to step in, but because he believed in me. He saw the potential I could have and wanted to help maximize it. As I've grown older in the livestock community, I've come to realize the power of influence and the importance of being a role model to others. We all start at a place in which we may feel overwhelmed or maybe even helpless, but it's who we choose to look up to that makes all the difference. Whether it was watching the advanced showmanship division or observing the finals of the fitting contest, I chose to constantly look up to the older, more experienced exhibitors. You never know who or when someone might be observing your actions. You never know who might be in those stands and who might be inspired by you. Each day, we have the opportunity to influence at least one person. The people we surround ourselves with are constantly observing our actions and attitudes. You never know the impact that you might be creating in a single moment. Live each moment as if someone is watching you from those stands. Aspire to be the one that others look up to.
Every year, thousands of students attend the Washington Leadership Conference. This conference at our nation's capital focuses on leadership, advocacy, and service. Throughout the week, members are challenged to identify ways that they can serve in their local community now, as well as in their adult life too. During my time there, I got to know Austin Tatter from the Grand Rapids FFA chapter and hear his story. At the time, he was serving as a chapter and regional officer. He was happy with his FFA service, but he knew that he wanted to continue to make a difference in the lives of others after his time at FFA was through. He had always dreamed of working as a forest fighter, so during his high school years, he expressed interest in a job with the DNR. Before he graduated high school, they had trained him in wildlife firefighting. He found his desire to serve others through the work that he did, and he prepared himself for that path. Austin now works as a smoke chaser, where he travels across the country, fighting wildfires and protecting communities. When he's not fighting wildfires, he volunteers as a structural firefighter in his hometown. Because he aspired to serve and learned how to serve in a specific way, he now serves at a new level. Every day, Austin lives out the WLC conference motto as he does what he can with what he has wherever he is. How do we aspire to serve? We all have talents and abilities, but it's not about the talents and abilities that we have, but rather how we make the most of what we've been given. We can choose to engage and use the opportunities that we have to create opportunities for others. We can use the abilities that we have to strengthen the abilities of others. Whether we're a leader in our FFA community or a top-notch business owner or employee, we can aspire to do what we can with what we have wherever we are. We can aspire to serve.
As an 18-year-old, Khalid released his first song, Location.
8 months later, he released his first album titled American Teen. With songs like Location and Young, Dumb, and Broke, he found success in his music. He wrote songs about his experiences in high school, surface-level relationships, feeling left out, and not knowing his place in the world. I got joked on, he said. You had people telling me that I was lame, stupid, feminine, this and that. But Khalid was able to take that negativity from others and spin it into motivation for himself. He said when asked about the people who doubted him, okay, but I'm still going to be successful. That mindset is what set him onto the path of one of the most successful musical careers over the past few years. Khalid's inspirations come from people who are often not grouped together. Names like Adele, Bill Withers, Father John Misty, and Fleetwood Mac, just to name a few. He said, I don't really think of a genre when I create. I just want to make something that sounds good in my car. I think that this is a great way to look at life. What if we put away the expectations from both ourselves and from others, and we simply aspired to be the people that we wanted to be? Even though Khalid was only 18 years old, and although all of his inspirations came from places that were not really typical, his album still sold over 2.6 million copies. He attributes this to the fact that music for him is not really at work, it's therapy. He writes what he feels, and that's what makes it truly authentic. After American Teen, people were foaming at the mouth for more music by Khalid. This music took the form of his newest album, Sun City. Once that was released, people were not so satisfied, though. Most reviews contained words such as lost or unremarkable to describe the album that seemed so drastically different than the first. In the weeks following and in the aftermath of so many negative reactions from fans, he sat down for an interview. He said, more than anything in life right now, I want growth. I want to grow, and I want my music to show how I am growing up as an individual. Sun City is the start of a new era for me. This music poured out of me, and I didn't want to wait to share it. I just wanted to live in this moment with my friends and my fans and truly speak from the heart. You see, Khalid's music was never about doing what others thought. He wrote his music because it made him happy. His first album was simply about making something that sounded good in his car, and his second was about making something that he could be proud of. In life, our first album can be trying something out. Maybe it's getting thrown into a situation and simply making the best of it. But our second album, that's really the one that counts. That's the one we can look back on and be proud of. That's the one we can look back on and ask ourselves, how can I improve? What can I do better without compromising who I am and what I want to accomplish as an individual? You see, Khalid aspired to be authentic in all circumstances, even though it was rarely easy. We should be undoubtedly and unapologetically ourselves. We don't need others to validate who we are or what we do. For we control our own destiny. But for us to be successful in that destiny, we have to be ourselves. We have to break the mold and be bold. We have to aspire to be authentic.
Now feels like the perfect time to tell a familiar story. Alice is an ordinary girl. On an ordinary day, she sits and waits for something extraordinary to happen. When the white rabbit runs by, Alice jumps into a journey with the purpose to find him. Alice enters the world down the rabbit hole, but she encounters a couple obstacles. First, she finds a door much too small for her to fit through. With the help of a few size-changing potions, Alice manages to fit through the door, only to find an ocean. A quick battle with the waves later, and she finds herself on the shore and forest beyond. Already, for Alice, this has been a journey of excitement. Now, following her curiosity, Alice delves deeper into the forest, where she soon encounters Mr. Caterpillar sitting on a mushroom. He asks her, "Who are you?" But she doesn't have a good answer for him. They get in a disagreement about her size, but eventually Alice sees from Mr. Caterpillar's point of view. Then he helps her grow. Now, continuing her journey deeper into the forest, Alice meets the Cheshire Cat, who leads her to tea time with the Dormouse, March Hare, and Mad Hatter. Now, these three have wronged time and are stuck forever in tea time. But while Alice is with them, she sings, dances, and laughs. For her, this is a journey of joy. Now, finally, Alice's journey reaches the White Rabbit, and unfortunately, the Red Queen, who becomes furious with Alice. Luckily for her, the connections that she made along the way helped her escape. It was those connections that made the difference for Alice. Now finally, she wakes up in her sister's lap, right where her journey began. All along, she was dreaming up a fantastical adventure for herself to go on. Now, just like Alice, I love to dream up fantastical worlds and dive into them, embarking on an epic journey. But I've also found that we can go on journeys too. Whether it's as big as going on a mission trip or as small as competing in a CDE, we can go on a journey of our own. And it's up to us to build in the joy, excitement, and growth. At the end of this journey, our purpose is to answer Mr. Caterpillar's question: who are you? We aspire to be on a journey that prompts excitement, growth, and joy. What kind of story will you create? Who will you become?
The National Basketball Association gives out a number of awards at the conclusion of each season. Some of the more notable ones include Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and Most Valuable Player. My personal favorite is called Sixth Man of the Year. For those of us that are unfamiliar with the game of basketball, let me give a brief explanation. A team is allowed to have 5 players on the court at any given time, to play against 5 players from the opposing team. The game starts with a tip-off where one player from either side jumps to grab the ball and pass it to another member of their team. The 5 players chosen to begin the game are referred to as starters. They are announced in a similar fashion to the way the state officers were announced tonight. Since a team consists of more than 5 players, a coach will choose to substitute in any of his bench players for the 5 starters. A sixth man, or someone referred to as the sixth man, is not a starter, but instead the first person to come off the bench and substitute in. Historically, when we think of the stars of the NBA, we think of the starters and the MVP award winners. These are the players who are considered a success, the ones who have achieved greatness. Some of us in this audience will grow up and be the MVP, the state officer, or the mayor. The truth is that most of us won't. The other half of the truth is that we don't need any of those awards or titles to be considered a success or to find our own greatness. We've all felt like the sixth man at one point in our lives, and if we haven't, we certainly will. In fact, in high school, I sometimes felt like the 16th man. The story of the sixth man is not meant to take us away from our dreams or to make us feel less important. It should do the opposite, actually. It should remind us to do what we can with where we are. It should remind us to embrace our circumstances and at the same time, don't use our circumstances as an excuse to stay where we are. The Sixth Man Award embodies someone who focuses on being the best for the team rather than being the best on the team. It's been 90 years of Minnesota FFA, and the next 90 needs each one of us to take our talents and aspire to use them for the betterment of others. How will you take what you're given and embrace it? How will you be the best for your chapter, our organization, and our world?
We don't need others to validate who we are. We're each individuals that bring something to the table, so don't hide it.
You are the only you that has ever and will ever exist, and the world needs your talents and your abilities. The question is, how will you use those talents and abilities to leave the world better than what you found it?
No matter where you live, if you grow corn or sugar beets, raise goats or grow succulents, be proud of who you are, for you are valuable and you are worthy in this organization.
Like Alice, we are on a journey of growth, joy, and excitement. It's up to us to illustrate our stories.
When we act with good character and integrity, we can influence those around us with each action. You never know who might be following your lead.
Finding success looks different for every one of us. But in every case, when we choose to embrace our circumstances and to embrace our role, that's when we find our own greatness.
Aspire to be authentic.
Aspire to serve.
Aspire to be proud.
Aspire to illustrate.
Aspire to be a role model.
Aspire to embrace. And
reach for the horizon. Now we have with us tonight a special performance from someone who has a voice to be a drive in country music. At 22, he stepped into Soundstage Studios on Music Row to record his first studio project in Nashville, Tennessee. Upon the independent release in May of 2018, Anderson's debut record, Heartland, peaked at number 18 on the iTunes country charts, and he continues to connect with country music fans across the country. Our guest was awarded New Artist of the Year at the 2019 Midwest Country Music Association Awards and summed up his acceptance speech with a big statement: "We're just getting warmed up." As a Champlin, Minnesota native, he continues to play shows and tour across the heartland of our country. Minnesota FFA, please join me in welcoming someone who truly aspires to reach great heights, Anderson Daniels.
Check 1, 2. All right. Well, first of all, my name is Anderson Daniels, and I got to say I'm so thankful to be here tonight. So honored to be here and represent the Midwest and the heartland of this country, out there playing shows across the country. I get inspired from folks like you all here with us tonight, and that's one of the big reasons why I've never left Minnesota. I travel quite a bit, but I'm a Champlin, Minnesota native, and I stay with my roots. I got 1 foot here in Minnesota and 1 foot out there pursuing this music thing. So thank you guys so much for giving me the inspiration to connect with you and connect with people all over the country. So yeah, thank you. So myself, I was not a member of the FFA, but I had a couple buddies in high school that were. I didn't grow up on a farm either, so to speak, but my mother did, my father did, and so I wrote this song, this first one I'm going to play. I got a couple songs for you this evening. This song's called Chiseled in Stone. I wrote it about kind of just the values of growing up on a farm. I wrote it kind of about my mother's experience. My grandfather passed away a few years ago, and the values and the character that you build growing up that way, kind of that's what my mother and my father instilled in me, and that's what I'll instill in my children, and so on and so forth. And a lot of those same values are written all over country music and the leadership. It's all written over the FFA too. So I'm excited to be here tonight. This first song is called Chiseled in Stone. Old road, rooster crows country air. Old front porch, squeaky floors rocking 'cause I still believe in hard work and Jesus and American dreams. And I ain't forgotten just what makes us strong and what family means. 'Cause I was raised on this piece of ground that Daddy bought on the edge of town. I raised my kids here, it's where I'll stay. Wouldn't have it any other way where I go. Oh, it's chiseled in stone. 1935 to 99, he raised 4 kids, had a loving wife, made the most of a small town life. And I ain't forgotten what you left behind, 'cause I still believe in hard work and Jesus and American dream. And I ain't forgotten just what makes us strong and what family means. 'Cause I was raised on this piece of ground Daddy bought on the edge of town. I raised my kids here, it's where I'll stay. I wouldn't have it any other way where I go. Oh, it's chiseled in stone. Where I go. Oh, it's chiseled in stone. It's chiseled in stone. Because I still believe in hard work and Jesus and American dreams. And I ain't forgotten just what makes us strong and what family means. 'Cause I was raised on this piece of ground that you bought on the edge of town. I raised my kids here with our last name. I wouldn't have it any other way where I go. Oh, it's chiseled in stone. Where I go. Oh, it's chiseled in stone. It's chiseled in stone. Ooh. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
I thought he was doing one time.
All right, I got one more for you here, folks. It's been one heck of a year for me so far. 2019's been crazy. I've been traveling the country quite a bit now, playing these songs, and it's all because of this next song that I'll be playing for you guys. But I'm on the road quite a bit as a musician. Made a lot of trips down in Nashville. I go down there quite a bit and kind of base everything out of there, and then come back and live here in Minnesota and play in Minnesota still quite a bit. So I've driven down there several times. I've seen every cornfield in Iowa and Illinois. And I wrote this song called Heartland. It's kind of my debut project that we put out last year, and we cracked the top 20 on the iTunes charts for my first project. I was proud to hang my hat on that, and it's all because of folks like you guys out here connecting with it in the heartland of this country. I come from Minnesota here, like most of us, and it's one of those flyover states. It doesn't get the recognition that it always deserves, and the folks here are hardworking, honest people, backbone of this country, and I just got tired of hearing about New York and LA all the time, and Washington, D.C., and I wanted to give an anthem song to the folks that I grew up around and the folks that I want to represent singing country music. It's the reason I sing country music, and this song's called Heartland. It's opened up some doors for me, and I hope you feel this one. You won't read about us in the New York Times. There ain't no LA screenplay about all way life. Don't get a lot of recognition, that's how the story goes. The only time we're on the CNN is when a twister tears through a town that no one knows. Here's one for the heartland, the place we get it done with our own two hands. Might be that little town that you ain't heard about, where them boys Piper Uncle Sam. And here's one for the home team, them colors you wear are the colors you bleed. It might not be on you, but when I lose, we're still a fan. Here's one for the heartland. We pull up on the side of the road when somebody needs our help. But when we think about what's best for us, we don't think about what's best for ourselves. There ain't a lot of money that's floating around here. We take pride in other things, like the ones who we hold dear. From the hills and the fields to the rocking Belle. If you help us out, we get it on our own. Either way, we're getting by. Here's one for the heartland, the place we get it done with our own two hands. Might be that little town that you ain't heard about, where them boys Piper Uncle Sam. And here's one for the home team, the colors you wear are the colors you bleed. It might not be on you, but when I lose, we're still a fan. Here's one for the heartland. One for the heartland, the place we get it done with our own two hands. Might be that little town that you ain't heard about, where them boys Piper Uncle Sam. And here's one for the home team, the colors you wear are the colors you bleed. It might not be on you, but when I lose, we're still a fan. Here's one for the heartland. One for the heartland. Thank you guys so much. My name's Anderson Daniels. We'll catch you guys out there next time. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Anderson, thank you so much for sharing your talent with us tonight. We really appreciate everything that you've done, and we wish you the best as you continue in your country music career. Minnesota FFA, give it up for Anderson Daniels. Now, for the last part of our show tonight, we need to award the winners of this year's talent show. Before we award, we'd like to thank the judges. The three talent judges this evening are Patty, Ron, and Britta. All three of the judges have a variety of involvement in the performing arts, including music, drama, instrumental, and dance. Patty started singing at the age of 6. She continued to sing in various groups in high school and also plays the trumpet and guitar. She is a professionally trained musician and has sung for the national anthem at the University of Minnesota events for almost 20 years. Patty has been employed by the University of Minnesota for 37 years, the last 31 with the Gopher Athletic Department. Ron has a degree in agricultural education, teaching secondary agriculture for 35 years. He sings in choirs and is a high school drama director of high school plays and musicals. He has been a performer for almost 20 years in local theater. He has coached 23 state talent acts during his years of teaching agriculture. Britta is involved in both music and dance. She has studied professional dance and teaches dance. She performs dance locally and performed at halftime on the Orange Bowl in Florida. In past state FFA talent contests, she has performed dance, music, and handbells. Now, for the winners of this year's talent competition. In third place, Jacob Bergstrom from Brainerd. In second place, Carrie Wormka from Alden Conger. And in first place, the winner of this year's talent competition, Riley Mullen from Fertile Beltrami.
Tonight, we held the annual Minnesota FFA's Got Talent. We met some members dedicated to serving our organization. We heard our very own state reporter, Lauralee Eaton, deliver her retiring address. And finally, we explored what Aspire to Be can mean for us this week. As we prepare to go our separate ways tonight after the conclusion of the first general session, let's take some time to identify how we can make the most out of our convention. Madam Secretary, do you have a record of any further business which should now be transacted?
Yes, Madam President, I do. Don't forget to download the Minnesota FFA Convention app to see all things related to convention. Remember to use the hashtag AspireToBeFFA, and you might see yourself on the big screen. We invite you to join us at Session 2 tomorrow morning in the Continuing Education Conference Center, beginning at 8:30 a.m. The delegate session will begin at 10:15 a.m., and all chapters are reminded that they need to have delegates present for the meeting. Registration for CDEs begins tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. Workshops begin at 8:30. The Stop and Shop opens tomorrow morning in the CECC, and tomorrow noon here in Mariucci Arena.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this meeting? We are about to adjourn this, the first general session of the 90th Minnesota FFA Convention. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. FFA members and guests, join me in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.
same to you. I hope you know you're special too. In Crown Town, we are all you need. Yeah, we are all we need. So come and take this journey with me. You know I'm gonna be somebody that you wanna know. My sister, brother, cousin, yeah, they all show me love. I got my friends.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Minnesota FFA Live, brought to you by your Minnesota FFA Foundation with sponsorship from Enbridge. I'm Morgan Krause.
I'm Spencer Wolter.
And we just finished the first session of the 90th Minnesota FFA Convention. The energy down there is unlike any other. Kids are excited, FFA members are ready to go, and that first session set the mood, really.
Oh, absolutely. I think it put the bar high for the following sessions for this convention.
It really did. As we've mentioned, we have 5 more sessions coming up over the course of 2 days, so if you want to continue to watch these sessions, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel and get notifications when they're coming on. But as exciting as today was, we have an even more exciting post-show coming up for you. So with us today, we have the president of the Minnesota FFA Alumni Association. How are you doing today?
Great, Morgan. I'm happy to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you came to join the FFA Alumni?
So my name is Corinne Flood, and I'm from the Dassel-Cokato FFA Alumni. And I actually have a very short career in FFA. I was born and raised in Minneapolis and had no experience with FFA and was very disconnected from agriculture. And when I graduated from the University of Minnesota, I headed west of the cities and found myself living between a cornfield and a soybean field. And 15 plus years later, married, 3 kids, and our youngest child got involved in FFA and said, Mom, you need to come to an alumni meeting. And of course, I was like, I'm not an FFA alumni. I'm not coming to a meeting. And she's like, Mom, no, you can come. And so I went to my first alumni meeting, and someone said, hey, we need a meal for a potluck. And I'm like, I can do that. And from there, it just kind of evolved into getting involved at the local level. And then I had some opportunities to participate in state-level alumni activities, and next thing I know, I'm on the council.
Fantastic. That's a very unique and phenomenal story. So when I was a member, I remember the alumni talking a little bit about the President's Circle. Could you elaborate on what alumni is doing now with the President's Circle?
Yeah, so what we found is with a lot of local alumni affiliates that some involved parents would start up an alumni, and the whole purpose of the alumni is to impact students at a local level and to support the ag program in the school and to support the ag teacher. And what we would find is as students would graduate out of programs, those alumni would start to fall apart because they didn't have true leadership in place. And so seeing that need, the Alumni Council developed the curriculum for President's Circle. And so we invite local alumni members to come in, and it's actually our premier leadership training that we provide for alumni affiliates.
Wow. So how long has the President's Circle been going on?
So we just graduated our 3rd class. It's a little bit of a time commitment. We ask people to really dedicate several hours of their life over a 4 or 5 month period. And when they're done, then they're considered graduates of the program. And then we ask them to stay involved, especially with their local alumni, because there again, it goes back to really working with those local FFA chapters and supporting them at that level.
Awesome. And how many alumni are in each, graduating class, and how many chapters do they interact with?
That's a really good question, and you put me on the spot. I can't tell you exactly how many chapters. We've had about, I'm going to say close to 70 people so far go through, representing all regions of Minnesota.
That sounds so awesome. If I'm not able to attend the President's Circle, are there other opportunities for someone to get involved in the alumni?
There are. We have regional reps, and so we're always looking for people to, within the regions, work with alumni affiliates in their region. And then we participate in a lot of the foundation activities. We love the foundation golf tournament in July, FFA Day at the Twins. You'll see a large alumni presence. And then this summer, we're really excited because we are hosting a national alumni regional development conference. So we're actually flying in national alumni staff, and they are presenting a free workshop, and that is open to anyone who is active at the local chapter level. You don't even have to have an alumni affiliate. If you're just interested community members who want to support that egg program and that egg teacher, you can come in and it's a free training. Randolph FFA is our host chapter, so we're going to be down there July 27th with National FFA alumni staff doing more leadership training.
Wow, that sounds phenomenal. And I know I can speak for Morgan and myself and everyone a part of FFA of thank you so much for everything that Alumni does and what you have done for our Alumni Association.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being with us here today.
Appreciate it.
It's crazy, you know, I mean, right now there are almost 11,000 members of Minnesota FFA, which means that every year we get more and more alumni. And how many people, you know, I run into on campus or just around that were like, oh, I was in FFA too.
Oh, it's kind of crazy. So even within vet school now, there's so many people that I run into all the time that love to share their experience of when they were members and actually what they're doing at the chapter level now. So.
Yes, we're very thankful for all the people we
Absolutely.
have. Now we have a special guest. We have our talent winner who was just announced, Miss Riley Mullen from the Fertile Beltrami FFA chapter. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
So, you just had a big rush of emotions, right?
Yes, I did. I almost cried.
Tell me everything. So, how did you get into robotic dancing, was it?
Yes, it was. So I had been watching So You Think You Could Dance, and I saw this dancer. His name was Fiction, and I saw a video of him dancing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to learn how to do that. And so I spent hours in my room by myself, and my mom actually got worried about me from time to time. And so I eventually taught myself how to do robotics.
Wow, that's phenomenal. What do you have multiple dances that you do to different sets of music?
I like to change it up every now and then, but Trendsetter, the song that I danced to, was really a solid song that I really appreciated it, and it really got me far, so I wanted to do that one again.
Phenomenal.
Is this your first time competing within talent for the FFA?
Yes, it is. It's my first year coming to the state FFA, too.
Oh my gosh. Well, what are your thoughts so far?
It's really big, and I really like it.
That's incredible that you've made it this far for your very first year. So tell me, at Regents, did you perform the same dance you did here up at State, or did you make some tweaks to it?
Yeah, I did the same song, but I improved it a little bit because this is a much bigger stage and tougher judges than the ones at Region. So I wanted to make it a little bit more difficult for myself.
Cool.
So you had the first pre-rounds, then you made it to the finals where you performed in front of thousands of people. How was that?
That was very scary because I come from a town of less than 800 people. So that was a big change, but it was really cool to dance in front of such a big audience.
Did you have anyone who helped you perfect your dancing, or YouTube channels you would watch, or how did you get to be as incredible at robotic dancing as you are?
Well, my mom is actually a dance teacher, and so she helped me with some little things here and there, but she doesn't really know how to do robotics dancing, so I kind of had to come up with some things on my own. But just really watching a lot of Fiction and one of his friends, Dado, dancing really helped a lot.
That's so cool. And so now fast forward to probably, 15 minutes ago, you're on stage with all the other contestants. What happened when they called your name?
I almost cried. I was very, overcome with emotion, and my nerves just kind of gave out, and I was like, whoa, because I wasn't really expecting to win, but I'm very thankful.
Well, you did a phenomenal job, and I'm sure everyone watching is going to want to know, are you going to perform again next year, do you think? Is it still going to be robotic dancing?
Definitely.
Awesome.
Well, that is a very unique talent. I will say I have never seen... I see people doing, the robot dance move, but nothing to what you did.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah, you really took it to the next level, absolutely phenomenal. And honestly, just such a unique performance to see.
Thank you.
But big congratulations. I'm so excited that your first state convention is really starting off with a big bang like this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your talent with us today and then coming up here to talk with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I heard that a robotic dancer was coming out, I was kind of like, oh, what's this going to be?
Yeah.
Then I watched what she did, and I definitely know I can't do that. So.
I know that I can't either. I know I've tried to do a little version of it, but man, nothing to how, I guess, fluid she was. I mean, the practice that must have taken is
really
insane.
impressive.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
And it's crazy to see how many talented, I mean, we just had, 8 people perform,
Right.
but there are so many talented people within the FFA, whether it's speaking or judging animals or singing or robotic dancing or playing a harp.
I know.
mean,
That's what I love about actually the first sessions, because I'm always excited to see the variety of different talents that always present here, because honestly, every year it takes away my breath on the unique talents that they show up on that stage.
That's so true. Something else I love about the first session is that we get to go back to our past state officers with our 25-year reunion team, and we actually have them here with us today. So I'd like to welcome you all to Minnesota FFA Live. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So if you guys could just introduce yourselves and what position you were in the FFA and maybe where you are now.
I'm Denise Reeser, and I was secretary, and I live in New Prague now, and I'm currently a farm business management instructor at South Central College.
I'm Kim Camels, and I'm from Jackson, Minnesota, and I'm currently a consultant. I work at Microsoft. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I was the state reporter.
And I'm Fred Schleep. I was the state vice president and from the Albert Lee FFA chapter. I currently live in Zimmermann, and I work for Pioneer Seed Corn Company.
I'm Ken Schenzel. I'm from Jackson, Minnesota. I was a state sentinel, and currently I live in Farmington, and I'm an ag teacher there.
Very cool. So what was going through your heads when you were like preparing to go on stage again after 25 years? What were you nervous? Were you super excited? Did you remember your lines?
Well, I didn't know if I'd remember my lines, so I was running through them this morning at home, and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. But I just kind of glanced through it a couple times before I went up there, and yeah, it's kind of like riding a bike. It all just came back to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd say it was a flashback, a lot of emotion. You know, you just remember back 25 years when we were doing our first kickoff. You look at the state officers that are there, their emotions going through, and it's just a lot of good memories that we had.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to come back, especially I haven't been back to convention for about 23 years, and so it's just really fun to be back and see all of the blue jackets, right? It's just, it brings back really positive, happy memories.
It was really fun and really an honor to be back.
So, I mean, I'm going to guess a little bit has changed since the last time you guys were on stage. What's kind of the biggest shift you've seen or change coming back to convention here since you guys were state officers?
I could say the one thing was the location. When we did it at Northrop Auditorium over in St. Paul campus, and it was very crowded. And we were in Kaufman Memorial Union for the other ones, so to come here to Mariucci, it's awesome to see everybody have room and how much bigger space it is.
Yeah, it's a lot larger. I remember when we first got elected, we did the awards ceremony in a little tent by the beef barn, and it wasn't very large. And it was a big deal to go to Northrop Auditorium. I know that we were the first team that went there, and so that was a big deal. We didn't have all the technology of the backdrop. It's more like a national FFA convention kind of feel. We did not have much of that at all. It was pretty low tech.
Yeah, there for a while, before we became state officers, a lot of inconsistency. They were held in numerous places. I mean, some sort of, it wasn't Northstraw Ballroom, but it was another place that we were at a few years ago, and then we did the tent thing, and then, yeah, this is great. This place is great. It's a lot more professional.
For sure. So thinking back to your year, what was like a highlight of your state officer like career? Like what impacted you the most for the rest of your life?
We've been telling a lot of stories about, like, remember when we traveled here, remember when we were together there.
Yeah.
And so it's just really fun to come back together as a group. We haven't seen each other in about 25 years, and just the camaraderie continues to exist, and some of our old personas, like, come out again as well, just having fun together. It's just is really special that despite the duration of time, we just all are getting together and having a good time together.
Very cool.
The Land did an interview with a bunch of us a couple weeks ago or a couple month ago, whenever it was. But she actually asked me, why did you want to be a state officer? And I honestly said, I don't really remember exactly why. I think it was just the fact that I wanted to try to make a difference. And I remember all the fun stuff that we did, but I remember one student, I can remember his face, but I can't remember his name, but he actually came up to a couple of us guys one time, and he told us that, before he joined FFA, he was having some personal struggles in his life, and he felt really lost, and he joined FFA, but he still didn't know exactly what he was doing. And after camp, he actually came up to us and said, thank you. And we actually saw him like a year after the first camp he was at, and he said, after that was a major life-altering camp for me, or conference, as Mr. Day would call it. And it was just great to see that, we actually did make a difference in some people's lives, not just for the fun, but for him, it was a big change.
Well, a lot of the traveling and the trips we took were lots of highlights there, and meeting all the people. I met my husband during that year, and so that was pretty cool. So it really impacted my life, because just all the networking and the connections, and I kind of learned that I didn't really want to leave the profession and wanted to stay in ag ed, and I guess I've stayed in teaching my whole time, and just some of the things that we learned with Paul Day. I mean, he taught us a lot of professionalism. He would call like really early in the morning, and at college you might have not been up, but you woke up really fast because he would call. There wasn't any cell phones or anything, and he taught you to spread out. The one thing we were talking about was don't huddle like chicks, he said, and what he wanted us to do is spread out. When we went to an event, that if the officers shouldn't all stick together, we should network and introduce ourselves to other people. So a lot of the professionalism that I use in my job today, and those things were really, really important, as well as the traveling and the trips and the fun relationships that we had.
Yeah, it was the memories of all the different trips that we did. You guys know too, it's just amazing. And the traditions that every officer team has done. I mean, we all kind of do the same thing, but it's just, our group had as much fun as anybody else. Why I did it, why we still do it, it's the officer teams before us is what inspired us to be this. And now you see the current officer teams are inspiring those freshmen out there, those 8th graders that come to convention. So it's a lot of fun.
So I have another question, is how many of you still have your blue jacket from all those years ago?
Oh, yeah.
We've got several, and my daughter she wore it before she got her own jacket. So she's an FFA.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. Mine shrunk in the closet.
It happens.
I still have all 3. It's good memories. It's one of those things like, I'm just not going to get rid of it.
For sure.
So significant. And have you been able to stay involved with FFA at all? I know you said you have a daughter, and maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, my oldest 2 went to their first national convention last year and competed in horse judging with my advisor. So it was really kind of a cool trip. So that's really neat. I taught high school ag for 18 years, so I stayed involved that way. But now I'm in a different area of teaching. But it's really neat to see my daughters get involved and do some of the things that we did. So that was really cool.
Neat.
I've got 2 daughters in it as well. One's a 7th grader, so next year she'll be taking classes, and then a 9th grader this year, so she's in 2 competitions this year. So it's even different because you remember way back when you did those and get nervous, and it's a neat experience.
I have 3 kids. One's a junior. She's our chapter president. She's been showing at the state fair for quite a few years and done a lot of the competitions. My middle daughter, I assume she'll be joining next year. She'll be a freshman. So, and the youngest one, he's a little ways out yet. But I'm an advisor. I'm an ag teacher, so I'm trying to inspire students every day to do their best and get involved and have fun with the different activities.
For sure.
Well,
I was just going to say, I can't wait for my 25th year to go up there. I wish I could have done it this year. So I envy you guys. I
I
can't
don't
wait.
exactly have that same feeling. I think I can wait for my 25 year, but
Yeah. Yeah. So we wanted to thank you for all the contributions that you've had, and then taking time to get up there one last time 25 years later to do open the first session of our state convention this year, and taking time talking with us up here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is crazy to think that that will be us.
I know.
A ways away, but like
sooner,
they said,
yeah,
it'll sneak up.
Yeah, I think sooner than we think. It's crazy to think that like there's going to be 3 teams since I was a state officer, and that's crazy to me. I don't know where time goes.
I know, but it's funny, even though I'm 4 years out now, coming back, I feel at home.
I do too, and it always is so comforting when I come back, like the energy, seeing all the blue corduroy. Honestly, I can't help but smile when I walk into just the energy of Mariucci and all the members on St. Paul campus. Honestly, It's like I just kind of feel with pride. I'm like, this is so cool.
I know. FFA is so unique in the fact that, they said they were inspired by the people before them. I was inspired by the people before me. And it's just this chain that keeps going, which makes me believe that FFA is it's the real deal,
It is. And I think that's the cool part is like when you're done, you're like, man, like what's going to happen? And every year come back and the energy is just as strong, if not bigger than it was the year before, because they just keep passing it down, which I think is honestly phenomenal.
Awesome. I agree. And we have one last but not least guest for tonight, Mr. Sam Johnson. He will be joining the post-show.
He will be taking my place. I have the pleasure of finals week next week, so I unfortunately am not able to be here, but Sam will fill my shoes and then some, so thank you, Sam.
Yeah, not a problem.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and besides for being here for the post-show, what your role is at convention?
Yeah, so I'm grateful to work for Minnesota Soybean Research and Promotion Council, and they are a large contributor to the Minnesota FFA Foundation and supporters of the FFA program. So I will actually be here on their behalf, representing them at sessions and providing greetings to show our support for the FFA program here in Minnesota.
Wow.
So Sam and I were state officers together. How does it feel to be back?
It's great. The energy is phenomenal. I was unable to come last year, so being back was a good change this year, and also having the support of the organization I work for with Minnesota Soybean is also fun as well. So it's good to be back and show their support on my behalf.
So kind of a throwback to the question we asked the 25-year team. Since you missed last year, what's the biggest change you see just from when you were a state officer?
I guess the revamp of the organization, it flows so much simpler now. Every year they find something new to improve and whatnot, and growing in numbers. I mean, sitting out there today for that first session, more members, and that's awesome to see that involvement growing here in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
So it's been really fun to watch you, grow from FFA and begin your professional life. How do you think that FFA has helped you to get to where you are now?
Oh, tremendously. I mean, everyone probably says that, but just the skills that you gained in not only the FFA portion, but also in the classroom as well. FFA wouldn't be possible without the ag education classes from your hometown too. So just being able to learn from them and then use those skills in the FFA program, from public speaking to writing to networking, things of that you use every day come really handy in the position I'm in.
Awesome.
Well, I'm excited to have you join the show. Spencer, I wish you could be here with us.
I do too. I'm jealous. I'm bummed, but
we are excited to see you become a vet someday. So
thank you.
Best of luck with your finals.
Yeah.
And again, if you would like to keep watching these, subscribe to this channel. We have 2 more full-packed days coming up here. I'm pumped for it. I mean, today was just the start, and the energy is high, and I feel like it's only going to go up from here.
I know I'll be tuning into this channel, hopefully for a little study break in between my finals. So I can't wait to see what the state officer team has and what the members are going to bring this year.
For sure. Well, that's all we have for today. We will catch you tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Yay. Oh.
agriculture means providing for our country, whether it be through farming, to provide food with livestock or crops, and also educating our future generations.
Agriculture is in everything we do, from the clothes that we wear to the food that we eat every day, and without it, you couldn't be alive today.
And what agriculture means to me is just go out and work and do the best you can for America and for other people.
When I think of the word agriculture, I think of corn stalks because I'm from Wisconsin, and with that goes the thought of like harvesting and planting the crops and plowing the field and all that. But agriculture means so much more to me than just that, because I know about the genetic engineering and chemical engineering and all that stuff that goes into agriculture.
Agriculture is a very broad term, but I think that it means dealing with anything that deals with food, fiber, and industry.
From research, development to ag mechanics, natural resources, all of that stuff just falls under the umbrella of agriculture.
Everything ties back to agriculture, from the clothes we wear to eating breakfast in the morning to driving our cars down the road. Everything has some sort of root in agriculture.
Agriculture means to me a very healthy and happy lifestyle, the ability to be able to grow food and to get that to the people who need it.
Something to take care of other people. It's not just hard work and labor and everything. It's the joy in other people's faces when you're actually able to put food on the table, when all that hard work actually pays off, when you can actually do something for someone else instead of caring only about yourself. Agriculture basically means the caring of others.
In 1933, Dr. Littner from the Fredericktown, Ohio FFA chapter happened to see a jacket, corduroy jacket, in what he called an old haberdashery store in Fredericktown, and that coat had a bulldog on the back of it, chain stitched with a manual chenille machine. And he said, well, that could be something that we could use for our chapter when we go to the convention. On the production side, there's actually 35 separate sewing operations into making every FFA jacket. We'll sew the front emblems on, the back emblems on, attach the belts, we'll attach the pockets next, zippers, prepare the sleeves with the sleeve placket. We'll hem the bottom, attach the cuffs and the collar, and bar tack the high stress area, the pocket, and then also add the buckle straps on the side and trim and inspect it. They will go through the front lettering department first, which is where we'll add the name, office, and year. Once that's done, we'll go through back lettering, which is a chenille embroidery machine, and a chain stitch on the back of the state and the chapter. The final step in the process is trimming the state and chapter and folding and shipping the jacket. One of the unique things, I think, is how important that coat and that tradition hasn't changed since 1933 when we helped design that first FFA jacket. That's just a very special icon of the organization, and we're very proud to be a part of that. It's really actually really emotional for me and for, I'm sure, a lot of our staff when they get to see those kids, interact with them at the show, or even when they come through our plant for tours and get to talk to those kids and the advisors and see what that jacket means to them. It really gives us some pride in what we do every day.
People often ask, what does FFA stand for? While the letters stand for Future Farmers of America, it has grown to mean so much more. Today, FFA stands for leadership, growth, and career success in a wide range of career paths. Since 1928, millions of students have been entrusted with the opportunity to wear the esteemed blue jacket. And in the process, they've experienced a transformation. Though the agricultural landscape has shifted dramatically throughout the decades, FFA has been a constant. We are proud to have provided a leading example of technological innovation while paving the way for a field of diversely talented individuals. Now more than ever, people realize the value of understanding where our foods, fabrics, and plants come from. And they are increasingly aware that agriculture is a crucial part of their daily lives. FFA members and organizations are shaping this awareness. They are more empowered every day with knowledge that they take into the communities where they live, work, worship, and play. American history is rich with the stories of agriculturalists of all kinds, from the farmer to the scientist, the doctor to the business owner. And agriculture now has a richer story because of FFA. Today we are grateful for our past and look forward to shaping the future. We are the National FFA organization, and we are right now.
My father, Irwin Tiffany, grew up in Linden, Kansas, and the family had a house and a farm on the edge of town. My father's job was to be a representative of the University of Wisconsin and traveling around the state, teaching vocational agricultural topics in the Wisconsin high schools. You'd like to get the kids out onto the farm, reaching the heart and soul of learning to be a farmer in the field. And he was getting ready for the annual conference of the Future Farmers of America. And he wanted to do something to kind of put a stake in the ground and say, here's where I stand. That became the creed. It wasn't an academic statement, it was a philosophic statement. It's a work of philosophy, it's a work of art. The amazing thing is that here at 85 years, it gives me a warm feeling to know that my father had the sensitivity to have been able to make that contribution affect the lives of so many. That made all the difference in the world.
I believe in the future of agriculture.
With a faith born not of words, but of deeds.
Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists.
And the promise of better days through better ways.
Even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years.
I believe that to live and work on a good farm,
or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits,
is pleasant as well as challenging.
For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life.
And hold an inborn fondness for those associations which,
even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny.
I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others.
I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly,
with such knowledge and skill as I can secure.
And in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest.
In producing and marketing the product of our toil.
I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining.
In the life abundant.
And enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself.
And less need for charity, and more of it when needed.
And being happy myself.
And playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me.
I believe that American agriculture can and will
hold true to the best traditions of our national life.
And that I can exert an influence in my home and community,
which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task.
My name is Chris, and I farm approximately 1,500 acres. We're located here about 7 miles south of South Superior. I've been here since the late 80s. I started farming in 82, and I've been at this location since around 88.
My name's Chris. I'm a right-of-way agent for Enbridge Energy. Got the segment 18 in Wisconsin. I'm from Alexandria, Minnesota. I'm a farm boy.
3-4 times I've had pipelines from Enbridge go through my land since the 80s, and my experiences with Enbridge have been wonderful from start to finish. Enbridge has been just an absolutely phenomenal group to work with. I can't say enough good about them.
Any issue that a landowner would have, it's my job to figure out how we can fix it and take care of it. And the biggest thing is, you got to listen. It's a little over 12 miles, and we signed every landowner. Every landowner's been taken care of as far as if they lost crop damages, what kind of, right down to the grass seed we're going to plant for them when we leave behind. And it's been a good communication all the way along for many, many years.
We raise a lot of beef cattle here. We typically feed out around 450 to 500 total head. And then we try to market almost everything we raise to the local community. I'm very proud to be a farmer because I feel like I'm making a difference in the world. It's a labor of love, and providing for your family and providing for the food needs of the world is something that makes me feel personally very good. The years, the 2.5 or so decades that I have worked with Enbridge, when there's been any issues with the land relative to what they've just maybe gone through and worked on, whenever there's been an issue, they've been there to rectify it and work with me to make sure indeed that it is to my standards.
High school sophomores recently spent 5 days on the road with Minnesota FFA's newest conference, Intense. Intense is an agricultural career experience aiming to help students discover that no matter what kind of job they want to have or what they are good at, they can use their talents and passions in a career within Minnesota agriculture. The conference traveled nearly 1,000 miles, visiting 6 colleges, touring farms and businesses, and connecting students' abilities and interests in agricultural careers.
Kids are encouraged by all sorts of influences to seek majors and jobs that will earn them a lot of money or the most prestige. And they're often led to believe that jobs in agriculture don't do this. But that's not necessarily true. There are so many opportunities for young people to make a great living and make a huge difference in the world through agriculture. Not only that, but rural America needs FFA members to be willing to come back to the kinds of communities we've grown up in. We need people ready to build up rural economies and lead small town governments. Agriculture is an irreplaceable part of the economy and fabric of hometowns like ours. So we need students excited and prepared to lead not only their contests, but in their jobs as well.
The Intense Conference is a strategy to strengthen the pipeline between high school and career in order to do just that. The Minnesota Agricultural Education Leadership Council partnered with FFA to make this first year possible. Intense takes the shape of a road trip where every stop is filled with hands-on experiences that allow students to explore careers. Farms and businesses open their doors for tours and discussions about what qualities are required to succeed. Faculty and staff at colleges throughout the state host students, volunteering their time to run labs and give tours of facilities that provided insight into careers ranging from food science to hydraulics to animal science. In addition to exploring potential careers, students explore campuses, staying overnight in college dorms, eating campus food, and determining which colleges were the best fit for them. Students reflect and ask any questions they still have in nightly discussions with group leaders. On a daily basis, participants share stories about realizing that even if they didn't come from a farm, they were welcome to work in agriculture, or discovering that even if they had been intimidated by college before the trip, they had learned there are options that make pursuing a degree after high school much more possible. When we first decided to make Intense an opportunity for our members, we knew it was going to be a great thing for the students who went on the trip. But looking at the long-term impact it can have for Minnesota agriculture and the communities across our state, I think that has the potential to be one of the most intentional and meaningful investments that we as FFA can make into the future of agriculture and the future of our rural communities.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FFA, to the University of Minnesota.
Welcome to the College of Food, Agricultural, and Natural Resource Sciences.
And welcome to the St. Paul campus
and the 90th FFA State Convention.
I'm always delighted when you come to our campus, and it's especially nice to have you here for your 90th annual meeting. I'm very pleased that the university is part of your agenda for the meeting, and I'm particularly proud of FFA and its long and wonderful history.
We're delighted to have you join us this weekend and hope you'll find this a welcoming home away from home. Many of the FFA students who've come here in the past have found CFANS to be a terrific home for their college experience, and I hope you'll consider that as you explore the campus, see what opportunities might be here for you, and become familiar with the work that we do here. But don't just take my word for it.
CFANS is where I'm able to combine my passion of livestock and my love of sciences to create a major of animal science that I can use to become a great swine veterinarian.
It's where I realized that knowing who you want to be when you grow up is as important as knowing what you want to be when you grow up.
It's where I discovered my potential and found many opportunities for growth.
CFANS is the place where I learned about the nexus between agriculture and the environment and how I can make an impact through policy.
It's also where Norman Borlaug received all 3 of his degrees.
Where many important varieties of crops, foods, and other agricultural products have been developed.
And where students today are able to choose from 14 different undergraduate majors, preparing them for whatever career they desire in food, agriculture, natural resources, and beyond.
So enjoy your time on campus.
Enjoy your time on campus.
Enjoy your time on campus.
And have a great convention.
Have a great state convention.
And have a great convention.
Welcome to the University of Minnesota, and I hope you have a tremendous conference.
At DISH, we have gained a tremendous amount of awe and respect for FFA. I have been completely humbled by everyone I have met, advisors and students. America has 3 vital, renewable, and frankly powerful resources: youth, agriculture, and leadership. You are producing leaders that are prepared for tomorrow, equipped with the 3 R's: respect, responsibility, and resilience. DISH was built on similar principles. We believe that learning and working hard is what you need to succeed in life. That's why DISH is immensely proud to support you. I am excited to talk about our DISH FFA Ambassador Program. The program enables FFA members to generate money for their state and, more importantly, for your own local chapters by referring friends and family to DISH. For every new customer that signs up through the DISH Ambassador Program, FFA will receive $200. But the exciting part is $100 of that amount will go directly to your chapter. And the program is simple. We've created a dedicated line just for you. 1-855-FFA-DISH. It's easy, right? We've also staffed the phone lines where employees are past FFA members, so they understand the customers they are talking to. So pass along the DISH offer to all of your friends, family, and neighbors, and in your communities. For every person that signs up for DISH through your commitment, your chapter earns money. This means you and the members of your chapter can earn thousands of dollars to fund the programs of your choice. Through this and our long history of serving communities across the country, DISH and I hope to provide FFA resources they can use to invest in the next generation of leaders in science, technology, and agriculture.
When the National FFA was founded more than 85 years ago, the world was a much simpler place.
Our country was a simpler place.
It was a time when about 1/4 of all Americans were engaged in agriculture.
A time when many farms still operated without electricity.
When a short trip to town actually meant a pretty long ride.
Times have changed. And agriculture has changed, offering new opportunities and careers in fields like business, education, production, and research.
That means FFA has changed too.
FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education.
We're strengthening American agriculture, and providing our members with the skills needed to build healthy local communities, a strong nation, and a sustainable world.
Today, less than 2% of Americans are engaged in production agriculture, but our membership is at an all-time high.
And as we've grown, one thing has come to represent the pride we have in our organization.
It's not a song or a slogan or a flag.
It's a simple blue corduroy jacket.
Without it, I'm just one person. Just one voice.
But with it, I know that more than 500,000 others have my back.
That more than 500,000 others are helping me tackle some of the world's toughest challenges.
Like feeding the world, stewarding our natural resources, and finding solutions for agricultural sustainability.
And we're doing it together. With the help of our families, our teachers and supporters, we are learning to do,
doing to learn,
earning to live,
and living to serve through our local chapters and state associations and at our conventions and conferences.
By becoming thought leaders and advocates for what we know is right.
We are the next generation of agriculture, committed, passionate, and proud to be among those who feed the world.
Powered by our spirit, guided by our mission.
Symbolized by a simple blue corduroy jacket.
We are the next generation of agriculture.
It's our turn now.
Let's show the world what we can achieve together.
We are FFA.
We live and work on the same land that the last 3 generations grew up on. There aren't any more hours in the day than when my grandfather started farming, but the job is immensely bigger. There's no time for downtime. It's imperative that we have the energy we need. Without it, it wouldn't be possible to produce the food that we produce. Line 3 is going to run just north of my place. I support it. It's simple. We need to replace Line 3.